Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The fall skirmish, baby. It's time. My name is Zeke Mateus, and we are joined this week by the legend himself, the unbelievable Fallout. That's right. How are you feeling, my friend?
I am feeling unbelievable. Opening week of fall skirmish is back and live. It is an absolute honor to be here. Thank you so much, Zeke, for having me.
Oh, man. You know, and I want to take time to talk a little bit about you before we get into things. For the guys at home that don't know, Fallout, I mean, you know the likes of Nick Merckx, you know the likes of High Distortion, you're an ex-Gears player. Like, talk a little bit about yourself. I mean, just tell the world. Take your moment.
I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I used to play Gears of War professionally alongside Nick Merckx, High Distortion, and a couple of those old Gears folks. And currently I am a Fortnite competitive player, shoutcaster, and tournament organizer. I also lead the Fortnite Fridays weekly tournament program in Microsoft stores worldwide. So ton of fun. Absolutely love Fortnite. Huge community member and fan of Fortnite. It is an absolute honor to be here.
Yeah, man. I mean, guys, seriously, if you're not following Fallout, you're living your life wrong. You need to take time, find him on Twitter, follow him. He is literally a legend. It's been so much fun hanging out with him. We got to hang out at PAX and do this. Now we get to do it again. It's going to be a great time. But, guys, the fall skirmish has changed so much. One of the first things you probably noticed is the clubs. So we have 5 clubs now that are going to be representing. And don't forget for you guys at home to pick your favorite. But, I mean, first off, we got the Fortnites. So we're starting the games off with the EU scene. So it's fun. You know, we've got the clubs have 100 players each, 50 from NA, 50 from EU, and each of those teams are basically participating. At the end of the 6 weeks, the club with the most points is going to walk with an additional prize. I mean, do you have a favorite club right now? Yeah,
I'm taking a look at all of these. I'm seeing some powerhouse players, a lot of folks that we saw back at PAX West coming over across the pond and all the way across the U.S. to compete at PAX West Summer Skirmish. They're competing again today. You see Dusty Dogs on screen, Rift Riders. There's a couple clubs I'm rooting for. I'm waiting to see how the action breaks down, though. We'll see what ends up happening.
For sure. I mean, what's cool about these clubs is there are also spots for people to make submissions. So yesterday someone tweeted at me that they actually got a tattoo of the Fortnites. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. If you are a fan of Fortnite, if you are a player of Fortnite, I think there was an announcement that there was over 50 million Fortnite players in August alone. You have a chance to compete alongside the likes of all these pro players, all these content creators. It is an awesome opportunity. So make sure to enter your submission at home, and hopefully you'll have a chance to be competing in future fall skirmish events.
Yeah, man. You know, so I think you talked to me a little bit about a submission or something, or were you telling me about that?
You know, so with that said, I appreciate the setup, my friend. Epic Games, Arctic Lumen, and friends, this is my official submission for Lucky Llamas. My name is Fallout. It is an honor to be here casting, but hopefully in the future I will have a chance to compete in the fall skirmish as a member, a proud member of the Lucky Llamas, alongside some good friends. Consider this my official submission.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think of that? Let us know with the hashtag, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, let's talk about the format, my friend. Hold the Throne. So every week we're going to change the format up. And with this week, week 1, we're going with Hold the Throne. So victory owls are worth 3 points. Second in place are worth 2 points. And fourth and fifth, are worth 1 point. Talk to me about the eliminations.
Yes, of course you can play for placement, or you can play for high eliminations, which is really awesome. There's a variety of opportunities of play style. 8+ eliminations will net you 3 points. 6 to 7 eliminations, 2 points. 4 to 5, 1 point. But keep in mind, if you drop 20, you're still getting that 3-point mountain unless you
that are yours. They act as your points until someone else steals them or until the end of the whole thing. I mean, there's a lot of prize money on the line here for week 1. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Life-changing amounts of prize money. I mean, just look at this. First through 10th place here, just in week number 1, $67,500 for first. And of course, the addition of club points, which is such a crucial addition to this format in fall skirmish. You, of course, are representing a club. At the end of it all, $4 million will be given away to the winning clubs in total prize pool for just club participation, as well as the prize pool for competition. It's been amazing to see.
Yeah, so not only are players competing for the total prize pool to be showing up as being first, on top of that, you're trying to get points for your clubs. So now, for you guys at home, what do you think of that? I mean, we got these new clubs, so let us know with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. Also, don't forget to rep your favorite club. We got hashtags for all of them. Let us know how you're enjoying all the action. Tweet at me, tweet at Fallout. Let us know how you love this guy. I mean, this guy, seriously, I cannot talk highly enough about you. I think at PAX it was kind of the same thing. We just hung out, and I was like, I love this guy.
We were gassing each other up, man. It was like you hype me up, I hype you up back. It's a good partnership, a true partnership.
Yeah. Man, but the other thing I want to take time to talk about is the changes that we've seen since the likes of PAX. So let's just go through this really quickly. So at PAX, we had disabled Shockwave Grenade.
Yep.
Now it's back in the game. On top of that, we have the Grappler added to the game. We also have the Porta Fortress, which just came out this week. We've also had the Silenced AR added to the game. These are huge additions. On top of that, we saw the Cube, a.k.a. Kevin, sink himself into Loot Lake. Now Loot Lake is all bouncy, and we've also vaulted the drum gun. So, I mean, it's going to be very different. It's going to be very different coming out of Summer Skirmish into now the Fall Skirmish. How do you think these changes are going to affect the game?
Yeah, I mean, the addition of the bouncy Loot Lake, the Shockwave Grenade, the Grappler, really the metagame has evolved, and this is so beautiful about Fortnite. And the most recent evolution is mobility, which I think adds an element of skill, an element of surprise, and just a much different layer of competitiveness to competitive Fortnite. And I am so excited to see that in action for the first time here in opening week of Fall Skirmish.
That's right. And something else to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first kind of look we're using our online live spectator client. So we'll be checking this out. So something to keep an eye out for. On top of that, we also have a similar setup to PAX. We have like the overlay here, so you can actually see where players are dropping. You know, we'll quickly identify what hotspots will be. And I mean, as you can see, there's a player there repping that new skin, Valkyrie. I mean, Stone Cold Killer. This skin is amazing. This is my favorite skin, along with Frostwing. Oh my gosh!
Absolutely beautiful. The animation, the effects, bar none, one of my favorite skins in the game. And I'm glad a lot of these players are repping it. Just dropped yesterday, so we'll see it, I'm sure, in display quite a bit today. Meanwhile, over in Lucky Landing, on the other side of the map here, looks like we have two different squads. Severin, who we had a chance to actually cast at PAX West, he was the Omega that played incredibly well at PAX West. Unfortunately, did not qualify for Monday, but a very, very strong European player, a good representative of the community. I'm excited to see what Severin and TS Chicken can do.
That's right. Something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching is if they have the same number, they're on the same team. So, example, Celery Airwalks is on Team 4 here. Goes down, though, right at the start to Thebs. He's on Team 39. So if you see two players with the same number, they basically are on the same team. That's something to keep an eye out for. And just a really quick reiteration of the format there. So, you know, what do you think? Do you think players will play more for the Victorials? Do you think we're going to see players just kind of go full send and try to get eliminations? What do you think?
You know, honestly, both. And I hate to take the cop-out answer, but it's the reality. That's what's beautiful about Fortnite and competitive Fortnite. It really adheres to multiple play styles. If you like to play a little bit more passive, play for mid-game, play for late game, play for uncontested drops, you can. And there's a lot of variety of locations and POIs you could drop at that are viable. Meanwhile, if you're Ghost Aiden, if you're Nick Merckx and you like to get in the action, you could drop Tilted Towers and you could bang out with the best of them. So really awesome to see the variety of play styles. Meanwhile, over at Lucky Landing, looks like we still haven't seen this 2v2 fight conclude. So there's still going to be some action breaking down over here. We've seen some good action already as Solary already taken out, a spot that we had our eyes on coming into this match.
That's right. We've seen the kill feed there. DK takes down Apostle. I mean, Apostle, the dapper gentleman himself. He likes to wear bow ties. I respect it. Taking a look here, we can also see this player here in Dusty Divot. So something to keep in mind as well with the live replay client is that you can actually see other players on the minimap in the top right. So definitely keep your eyes heading up there. See if there's other players around. But we'll keep you up to date with all the action. But look at this, man. Marin trying to track down these two players. We can see them through the wall again with that replay client. I love it. Being able to see the outline, see kind of how players are moving, what weapons they've got out, things like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
completely agreed. I mean, look at this scenario. We have two teams just on opposite walls. Meanwhile, on the top right of your screen, you'll see another team up at the Dusty Diner that was just added, hanging out up there. So we have three separate teams in this area, and still no eliminations picked up yet. It goes to show the amount of respect that these players have for one another. Of course, in a high-stakes private server format, we see the best, and I mean the absolute best Fortnite gameplay, and it's really been a treat to watch so far in Summer Skirmish and kicking off Fall Skirmish as well.
Man, look at this. This is just a fight waiting to break out Fallout. We've got, like you talked about, the teams up there at the old containers. We've got a team here. We've got two teams within. I mean, there's people all around there, and we now know where this new circle is. So a lot of players will probably start making their way into safe zones a minute before the storm starts to move. I mean, look at this. So what's interesting, Jetpacks only has two weapons, both of them ARs, and both of them actually share the same ammo type.
Yep.
So, I mean, as he's burning ammo, he's, I mean, you know, using up some of the other one, but he immediately takes on a player there. That's free loot on the table, but
yeah,
he's
Jetpack
also made a lot of noise.
Exactly, he does. Jetpack responds to you and says, hey, Zeke, all I need is an AR with 24 bullets, and I'm going to pick up some eliminations. He gets one right there. Should be able to pick up some weapons and some ammo as well, and it looks like his teammate's actually going to swoop that up. So, surprising, Jetpack's still just repping that double AR, as you mentioned. That's might cost him here. If he gets into a big team fight, he's not going to have a lot to work with.
Now heading down to the south half of the map, you can see up there in the top left, we've got players nearing each other right now in Clyde and Marijuana against Merci and not Mikey. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But immediately you see the grenade launcher, and look, they already have a Porta Fortress in hand. Fallout. How do you think they're going to use this?
Oh my, defensively is one thing I would say. The Porta Fortress gives, ooh, look at the double rift that he's going to be hit. But Porta Fortress gives you an opportunity to play a lot more defensively. To really, if you're under duress, you can bail out of that situation really, really well. I expect them to hold on to that for a rainy day. Of course, they're not going to use it right there in that offensive opportunity.
Yeah, let's check out this replay coming in from Solary.
He's still alive, actually. One of them is still alive.
That's right. We saw one of them go down. He takes down 2 players, knocks them down. He's going to get the elimination here.
Interestingly enough, the Solary members are not playing together, so I take that back. I assume both the Solary players would be playing together. We saw a member of Solary die earlier in the game, get eliminated, and now it looks like Solary, Yoshi, and Jules in a good spot.
So keep in mind that there is a duo and that Yoshi's playing someone else, but there's also, don't forget, the club, so they can only play with club members.
Yep.
So that's something interesting to keep in mind.
In terms of duos and pairings all day long, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, this format on top of the clubs is gonna change things very dramatically.
Yep.
We're gonna see things kind of unfold differently, and I think another cool thing to talk about is, you know, Summer Skirmish was more about, you know, honing in on fun, or rather the format and whatnot, and now we get to have a little more fun. We get to bring those formats back that people really liked, and then we get to do some new stuff with the clubs. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to change these 6 weeks. But boy, oh boy, a lot of action heating up. Look at this. We've got a grappler in play. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love the grappler. It is one of my favorite weapons, a great mobility tool, and it's just fun. You just fire it and you just go zipping around. You can do stuff like if you jump off a ledge, you can actually grapple the ground and zip yourself down and not take fall damage. There's so many cool little things you can do with it.
And we're just scratching the surface of what we're going to see out of that item. I'm really excited for that. And really, I think everyone loves the grappler unless it's being used against you. Because it's such a powerful item. A miss sniper shot right there, I believe. Not sure if he picked up the tag just right there. But
very close,
very close.
Fun fact, Harmy actually played at PAX.
No way.
Saw him, yeah.
A couple of Europeans making the trip. That's a long trip over to Seattle. So a lot of respect for our European competitors making the trek to Seattle to compete for, of course, the massive prize pool. $1.5 million prize pool is at PAX West. Another $10 million prize pool here for Fall Skirmish.
Players are going to start to get funneled a little bit, right? Now they're going to start making their way into the safe zone. What do you think is the play here, right? So, like, if you're one of these players on the outside of the map, do you just go in and you just, you know, make a spot for yourself? You just kind of wait. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, that was a key conversation. I know in talking to a lot of pro players at PAX West is the learning that you have to rotate early. I think that it's easier said than done. Everyone knows that they have to do it by textbook, but it's harder to do and actually in reality of the situation. But a lot of those players that are on the outskirts, that's typically where most people will lie. So by sitting on those outskirts, you put yourself at risk of running parallel to others and putting yourself in a pretty dangerous spot. I think the right play is to rotate early to center circle to not get caught in the mix here. And those players that are on the outskirts, we'll see if they can make it out alive.
And take a look at this Fallout. 80 players still left. I mean, there's still so many people left alive. So if this continues, I mean, we see a knock there in the kill feed there. But, man, if this continues, we're going to see some of these tighter circles just nonstop action.
Yep, that's for sure. Right in the face of Vitality, Mika. A couple shots can be picked up. He's going to lose his shield here. So a little bit damaged. No shield for Mika in this one. He's just going to actually break down the cover. Play a little more passive. Big fight going down over towards the containers. Gabby going to get downed. Looks like a shockwave is going to get used. So we talked about the addition and the ability to escape. Shockwave and grapple.
His head almost zips across, but the enemy was waiting for it and picks off Amar. Man, oh man. Now here's the thing. They got to go find that grappler. I mean, look, you saw this guy's got a grappler. You got to go get it. You got to use it yourself. That's how it works.
That's 100% how it works. You have the passing of the torch, if you will. The passing of the grappler.
It's right there. Micah, look, turn around. Micah, no, don't leave it.
Does he not want it? Maybe he doesn't want it.
You know what? He's probably just like, look, I don't need this. This would make me too strong. Okay, all right. I can take down players. Believe in me, Zeke. Yeah. You're right, Mike. I believe in you.
Yeah, well done right there from Vitality, of course. Vitality, French esports organization, one of the premier esports organizations over in Europe, and they're showing why right now with some two strong players on their side, on the Fortnite side at least. Meanwhile, Yoshi and Jules. Looks like they're in a 2v2 standoff situation. Meanwhile, a lot of fights taken on the Epsilon squad. Speaking of premier organizations in Europe, they're entering the scene as well towards Fatal Fields.
Look at this. This is a replay. So this was the replay from the fight we just saw for Micah. So look, Amar's mid-air. He zips over and immediately, look at that. Oh, wow. My gosh. Those are hard shots to make, man. Hard shots indeed.
And keeps the AR out rather than taking out the shotgun. Yeah. That's a bold play. It means he has trust and faith in his accuracy. Well shot from Mika in that one. Meanwhile, Skosis of AGO here. Just getting as many mats as they can. That's another big thing in these private server matches. You think it's easy to get mats. Easier said than done. Yeah. It always becomes an issue in late game is material and resource containment. Yeah, I mean, especially as people start to tunnel, they start to fortify as much as they can. We'll have to see.
Yeah, speaking of which, literally what we're saying, but like you talked about, it's a great point, is the shockwave grenade, man. That thing is going to change the way, and I hope we see a lot of it this time around in these coming weeks, because it's a game changer.
Yeah, well said. Meanwhile, on board with Martin here. I believe this is a replay situation over towards Dusty. Actually, no, I think this is a live fight as Mika and Roby are going to be in a pretty bad spot here. No high ground for them, and they're really in this fishbowl that is Dusty Divot. A couple good, well-placed walls right there from Method Martin. He's going to put some shots over on the Vitality squad who's just trying to retreat. They recognize they're not in the best situation. They want to get out of it.
And again, take a look. The spectator client, man, it's super helpful. You're looking up at the top right. You can see all the duo teams very close by. I mean, everyone else, if you watch these little triangles, they're honing in on these shots. They hear these shots, and they're saying, look, we need to get in there. We need a third party or a look to clean up these fights because we need eliminations. We need these eliminations on the board. Yeah, 4 to 5 is 1 point, right? And 1 point could be enough to put you in the top 10. So
exactly. Not only that, but this Vitality squad is, speaking of points, they're so close. You see the foreman on the radio screen, so close to picking up a few points here by eliminations. They've picked up a couple already, so let's see what they can do here. Big fight ensuing. 3 or 4 teams in this one. It's going to be Martin versus Mika in a 1 versus 1. Sorry, that's Roby. He downs 1. That's an elimination. That's crucial if they can pick up the finalization here. Meanwhile, it is going to be Jetpacks that downs Roby and neutralizes. Now, 1 versus 1 situation. Jetpacks versus Mika, I believe. A couple good shots are going to be put in. Ultimately, it is Mika that comes out on top. 3 eliminations for Mika, a few for Roby, and that should net them some points.
Unbelievably well played there. Mika by himself now. I mean, you'll love to see it. If he can get 1 more, or rather 2 more eliminations, he's going to have a point on the board. You know, we talked about it, man, and we kind of talked about it a little bit at PAX as well. These elimination thresholds, they're tough. This is not easy, right? Everyone needs to show up and do the best that they can. And we're basically, it's a lot to ask for. I'll give you that, but it's worth it, right? A lot of these players are going to show up like Mika. I mean, we just saw him he's got 3 eliminations now. So if he has 1 more, that's 1 point. And even at PAX, we saw a lot of times where people would get so close. They get 1 elimination away from their first, second, third thresholds, and then they go down. And
yep. You can see the look in their face afterwards. You have the beautiful webcams as well. And one addition to this format that I absolutely love is the Hold the Throne edition. Yeah. We saw Aiden drop, I believe, 18 eliminations in his nightly qualifier. I mean, playing out of his mind. But because there was no Hold the Throne in that feature, that format, he was, I think, ended up 10th through 15th place in the final standings. So the addition of Hold the Throne gives you an opportunity to really rack up some extra points and rewards the eliminations even further, which I think is awesome for the overall balance of the game.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
And it means more eliminations that we get to see, so I'm not going to.
That's true.
Take a look at the action from Mika's perspective here. We saw it from Jetpack's perspective, and look at that nice headshot. And the AR, sorry, make that a SMG, compact SMG finish there from Mika. Yeah.
Man, he's 1 elimination away from that first threshold, getting himself a point. And man, these points they're sparse. You know, you get 3 points for Victory House, 2 points for second or third, and one point for 4th or 5th. And that's the thing, man. If you make it, let's say you make it a top 6 and you don't have any eliminations, that's great. You made it to top 6, but you don't have points. So it's I like that this format allows players to kind of play to their strengths, right? You can either play, look, I go full send, I get eliminations. That's great. You're going to get points. Yeah. Or I like to make my way to final 6. I like to play very slow, very methodically, and I'm going to make decisions that matter. That's awesome. You're also going to get yourself points. So It's a really cool format. I've enjoyed this. And again, you mentioned earlier the hold the throne. Whoever has the most eliminations at the end of the game holds the throne. So that's just 2 points. They're up for grabs. I mean, during the summer skirmish, actually, during the hold the throne week, we saw people stealing the points left and right. So we'll have to see how that happens now. But Fnatic, Etnix, and Jarl go down.
Oh, wow. So both members of Fnatic out of the count here. Meanwhile, on board with Madsen. And look at the amount of 1x1s built up here. It is training day right now for these individuals. They're just posting up and trying to get some long-range shots off.
Look, I just want to point this out. There's 64 players left alive.
What?
Fallout. There's 64 players left in this game right now. Look at this. Look at how, first of all, look how evenly everyone's spread out, right? They're at basically long range, or just about, and they're waiting. No one's taking shots, right? No one's building. Everyone's just waiting. They're waiting for that moment when the storm comes in, forces players together.
Yep.
They're looking to clean up a few eliminations as they can, and then once we get the new storm circle, they're going to have to move.
Exactly. You know what that means, though, is my favorite part as a caster and as a viewer, madness is about to ensue. 64 people, and look at how many players in one area right now. You already know fights are about to ensue. It's about to go down. Of course, the addition of shockwaves, porta fortresses are really going to help promote the fights in the end game. I'm really excited to see how the action breaks down.
Look at how many players are. I mean, look, Lei is right next to Ukes. They're like one grid space away from each other. We've got players all over the place, and it's still at 64. Nothing has happened. But like you talked about, the madness is about to happen. We get a new circle. All right, so now this is where players they make the decision. Do I move now? Is it too soon? Do we just need to go secure a spot? You know, what do you think these players are thinking right now?
Yeah, in this scenario, again, early rotation, the early bird gets the worm, I think could ever be more true when it comes to rotation. So what that means for those at home, a rotation means how fast you rotate and move to the center of the circle, the next storm, or the next circle, and it looks like a couple players are going to do exactly that. Meanwhile, big fight going down here. Finally, the madness ensues, and it looks like Harmy and Co. go down. Lou gets taken out as well. One Splode took out 3 members. I'm not sure if that was 3 limbs for one. We'll, of course, get the updated scoreboard for you guys as soon as we can and towards the end of the game. But from 64 to 59 in the blink of an eye here, and look how small this last circle is. It's going to go down here in just a moment. And of course, we are an anti-gravity end game here. I absolutely love it, just like we saw at PAX West, which is so entertaining. It's going to be an interesting end game, that's for sure.
That's right. So we kind of saw some of this play out during PAX, but these grav zones, if you don't know, they're basically these anti-gravity zones, right? You can hop around, and it's almost like you're on the moon, right? So if you jump off a large structure, you're just going to float down very gently, but you're also, while jumping normally, you're going to be moving very slowly in an arc. So it actually makes it very easy for players. If they have like a hunting rifle, they can actually really easily take you out of the air, just because of how slow and you're floating. So people have to keep that in mind when they're in this zone.
Yeah, there's an opportunity to use that anti-gravity, much like a bounce pad, to build yourself high and get high ground, but it's high risk, high reward, because you do make yourself a little bit vulnerable if you can't build very efficiently. Meanwhile, rotation's coming through. It looks like Jules is going to get a down on Svenos. So Svenos, a big name on the European seed. He goes down, not out just yet, but on board with Ali Gamers for now, who seems to be in a pretty safe spot here.
There's still so many players left fall. We've only gone from 64 to 56. We saw one player go down, and look, the silenced AR, we talked about it. We're seeing it now. Ollie has it, but look at all these players. Just watch their health bars. Noisy up top goes down there. There's shots left and right. We just heard the sound of remote explosives. I mean, this is going to get really claustrophobic very quickly.
Yeah, indeed. Ollie Gamer's in a pretty good spot here just to stay alive and value his life. Meanwhile, looks like a member of Ghost Gaming representing here today, Train H. Sops. Looks like he's going to get tagged up pretty hurt right now, trying to just stay alive and use that last mini shield in that campfire to get back to at least more of a desirable HP position.
Man, there's so many people Fallout. It's only down to 52 still. This is crazy. There's so many people packed in this tiny spot. And now look, where the new safe zone is down on the lower half of the map now. So some players are already there. They're good to go. But that means for everyone else, they have to start making these rotations.
Yeah, one thing that's really interesting, maybe it's a European versus North American thing, but you don't really see many layers of elevation and verticality. You see that very often in the North American side, where players will build high, and you'll see kind of a high ground, a mid ground, and a low ground, 3 separate fights that exist. Meanwhile, everyone, for the most part, low to mid ground here, which means we're going to see a crazy battle on this rotation. Looks like it is Carnifex who's just sneaking his way over to that hill, or that next circle, in a pretty good spot right now, but expect madness to ensue here. I want to see some players build for high ground and try to create a second layer a little bit higher up to give themselves a vertical advantage.
Man, Paul, this is getting intense. This is just 50 players. We've got 38 seconds left before this storm starts to move. And now everyone is literally going to be funneled in through the same spot, that northeast corner of the circle there. I mean, look, there's already a flood of people there. And don't forget, this is duos. So it's not just like 1 or 2 players. This is literally duo squads moving in troves. So... Yep. We're going to see this action heat up very quickly. We're going to see the lobby probably go from like 46, I'd assume, down to 20, maybe even less.
And you're right. Look at the mini-map. I mean, it's all those triangles in one tiny area. It is awesome. You love to see this late game, how intense it is. One slight misstep could cost you your life in an instant. It's all about the flick of the wrist and the quick shotgun shots around the corner. We'll see who comes out on top with those. Meanwhile, looks like the rotation is going to come through. 35 seconds left until the storm will collapse in its new environment. Finally, people are building up towards high ground like madmen. But keep in mind, resource management in a very good spot here as this Black Knight with resources, almost 1,000. What he's going to pick up an elimination, that's Dementos, the man himself.
He takes down someone there. We're down to 45. Only one player's gone down in the time we talked. Now Ollie here is drawing a bead, but can he make these eliminations? Keep in mind, everyone, they're fighting for eliminations. 4 eliminations gets them a point on the board. They need these points, or they need to make top 5 if they hope to score points coming out of this first game, rather.
Yeah. And Ollie's a prime example. 0 eliminations right now, so Ollie playing purely for placement. Ollie can pick up some key eliminations right now. But I like what I'm seeing out of the secret squad. Dementos, of course, the young man who we saw perform in Summer Skirmish and in past events. Holding high ground. He's going to lose that high ground with the bounce pad here. Just going to build himself a nice box and a nice square to survive here. But Solari Hunter picking up some nice kills. Eliminations.
Looks like his teammate has gone down there. He's about to fall. He has no health. There he goes. So now Dementos is by himself. But look at all these players everywhere. I mean, we see players going down left and right. Someone down there, down below. 2 players down there. I mean, this is getting absurd. Now, Sky goes down. I mean, you literally just hear nonstop bullets. That's what you're hearing. Gunfire literally everywhere as people are... I mean, keep in mind, they're 1 or 2 grid space away. This player goes down as well. I mean, look, oh, there was a rift there. Someone used a rift. Wow. But Hex couldn't get there in time, so they're going to be allowed to reposition while in midair. Oh, we've got a grappler out as well. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about a grappler in these situations.
Game. Unbelievable. It is absolute warfare, absolute madness. You called it perfectly. I liked what I saw. I believe it was actually this squad here that held high ground, was able to get a nice headshot elim immediately on whoever that was peeking for just a moment. So if you team fire, and one thing we're talking about often is team firing in duos can be very efficient. Looks like the jump head's going to be missed there.
Oh, no!
Finally hits it. He should be okay.
Oh, no. Lothar goes down. He's lost in the storm. Windwalker took the L. Now we're down to 26 players. This lobby is very quickly getting thinned out. Oh my gosh. Even look at the different elevations. I mean, oh, look, the grappler. We talked about it in these situations. Come on, make the shot. Look at this. You're just very quickly able to navigate these fights. And look, he lands on a med
to
kit?
A med kit.
What? Okay,
Merry Christmas,
grapplers. My, oh my. This is changing this endgame as we know it.
Absolutely love it. I'm looking to see who has a Shockwave or a Porta Fortress, because that would be massive in this late game scenario. You could easily, especially with the bounce pads of the Porta Fortress, you could easily get someone outside of the storm and make some plays there. Impulse grenades, of course, playing a big impact as well. No eliminations picked up as of yet. Finally, it's going to be 7, SSK7 picking up 1. Hunter grabs another here in the Solari squad. Is heating up.
Oh my gosh. You know what I didn't even think about as well? Is with the addition, so if you're new to Fortnite, what we call it owning the wall. It means that you've placed this piece of structure down and you have rights to edit it. So as you look, we looked at this wall and it means it's red. That's not his wall. He can't edit it. Now with the Porta Fortress Edition, if you drop that when everyone's built around you, you own all those walls. You literally just consume everyone's structures around you, and then you have rights to edit everything. I need to see a Porta Fortress.
That is a beautiful point, especially in this late game. So talk about ownership and possession. You can get possession of this entire circle with the Porta Fortress. It is that massive of a structure of a unit. Not only that, but you knock everyone potentially completely out of the circle into the storm and in a very dangerous spot. If anyone held on to that Porta Fortress, we saw it way earlier. I'm not sure which team that was and if they still have it in their possession, but that would be a game changer right there from Hunter.
Oh, that's a grenade. Oh my gosh, a grenade just came in there. Solar Kinstar goes down. I got him. SSK has eliminated Kinzel there. Windstrike Meow eliminates Hex. 10 players left. I mean, look at this player. They have 6 eliminations, Fallout. If they get 2 more, that's 3 points. Hunter is on fire right now, just capitalizing every moment when he can. Yes. Again, we're down to 10 players.
And the Solary squad, we talked about him a little bit in the pregame. Performing so far, 6 elims, down to top 5 in players as well. Keep in mind, look at the right of your screen here. 2nd and 3rd place will get you 2 points. You want to survive for that 2nd place finish or 3rd place finish.
Down to, look at this. Things are just happening left and right. Down to 7. Again, back over to Hunter. He has 6 eliminations. That in itself is huge. That's 2 points can hit the board. If he even just waits till 1 more elimination, that's going to be 1 point coming out for making just a top 5. I mean, oh, do you see the shockwave grenade?
Oh my goodness. Is it on the ground? Yeah,
it's right there.
Okay. Is he going to be able to grab it, though? He's going. He knows he needs it.
Yes.
He's going to grab it. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. No, he's not going to get it off. Can you believe it? And he gets the elim with the trap right after.
Oh, but he's... Okay, so he did find elimination. There's 4 players left in the game. The circle is closing and everyone's falling down.
Sorry, Rift to go here.
Oh, someone goes down. Okay, so this is it. We've got 4 players left. 1 is down. I believe we're going to go to a heal-off. It's happening. Oh, no. G-Master doing everything he can. There's a player there. Wait.
Wow.
Wait, he didn't realize it. He literally landed on top of G-Master. He did not realize it.
That was his teammate.
No, it wasn't. It was someone else.
Oh,
it was a different number.
He got the elim on.
He landed and took down the player on the right. So that means Bowman taking it to a heal-off.
Wow.
With 3 eliminations on the board. So keep in mind, he does not meet the 4 elimination threshold. But, man, he gets a victory out. That's 3 points on the board. Now, here's the thing. Don't forget, these eliminations are totaled per team, so per duo. So if the duo can find 4 eliminations, I mean, if Bowman's teammate has 1 elimination, that's an additional point. That's 4 points to start out here on game 1. And don't forget, we also have the hold the throw mechanic. Whoever has the most eliminations, whatever duo team, they're going to have those 2 floating points for free. I mean, what a game 1.
An unbelievable finish to that one as well. You called it perfectly. He drops, doesn't realize that someone is healing center circle right there at the finish, not able to pick up that elim, and then swoops. His teammate swoops in, picks up the elim, keeps him alive, and they did secure a 2nd place finish, which I think is huge. That's going to net them a few points. I believe that's 2 points for 2nd and 3rd. Well played right there across the board. What an end game. I mean, the fact that we had 64 people alive in the 3rd to last circle, 2nd to last circle before the rotating circle. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I mean, we saw a lot of things, right? We saw the likes of the grappler. That's that new addition we talked about just after packs. We saw how that makes players dynamic. You saw a player, they literally hopped in at the very end of the circle, and they hopped up to another player's loot, and they had a med kit available to them. We saw him pick up the shockwave.
Oh my gosh, so close but so far.
Oh, talk to me about that. Well, what implications would that have had?
Game changer. I mean, just 1 split second. That's what you love about Fortnite, is a split second decision, a split second opportunity would have made the difference between death or being able to completely disrupt all cover, potentially knocking people to their fall damage into their death, surviving longer, and making a complete difference in that final circle. I mean, once again, if he would have gotten that shockwave off, we would have seen a much different endgame right there.
That was crazy. I mean, you guys at home, what do you think about all the action? This is only 1 game. We have 5 more games to go. Don't forget to hit us with the hashtag #fallskirmish. Let us know how you're enjoying the action. Tweet at us. Let us know how you're enjoying Fallout. I mean, this guy's incredible. I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep reminding you about it because you need to know this. But, dude, that was crazy. I think the only thing that I would have liked to see potentially done differently is a Loot Lake ending. I'm just saying, let's go to Loot Lake. Bouncy.
That would be amazing. We did have a little bit of an anti-gravity ending, which was nice, but Loot Lake bouncy ending, if it happens in one of our 12 games tonight across North America and Europe, I will be a happy camper.
That's right. We've also got some replays to take a look at coming in from this first game. I mean, this was crazy. This was honestly like exactly what I wanted to see, just action coming out the gates. And you touched on it, but the fact that we got to one of those, like, I think it was third circle, and we had 64 players left.
Yep.
That's absurd. So do you think that that's attributed to, like, first game jitters, or you think everyone is like, no, we know what we're doing. We're just looking to survive here? Like, what do you think we're seeing pan out?
I would go with the former. I think it's more of first game jitters. Your first week of fall skirmish, a lot on the line here. There's a lot at risk. You're going to play a lot more passive of a game. We saw it at PAX West. Players that we're used to seeing playing mega aggressive, Tempo, Jailmock, a lot of these players, Bowman, Severin on the European side, played a lot more passive in their game style. There's a lot more at stake here, and you're going to see people play a lot more passive because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and don't forget the clubs. Players are looking to try and get points for their clubs. If they score high, especially here during the competitive aspect, they're going to get these points on top of the weekly trials that they get to participate in during the week. I mean, fall skirmish, man, it's huge. We're bigger, badder than ever. I mean, I just don't even. What are you hoping to see? Do you want to see anything done differently? What are you hoping to see, like, in Game 2?
Yeah.
If there's one thing, you're like, I need to see this, Zeke. Or even in the next 5 we have to play. What's one thing you're hoping to see?
There's a lot to like about competitive Fortnite, and I hate to keep harping and bringing it back up, but a Porta Fortress or a Shockwave in that end game, we were so happy for the additions of those items. I would absolutely love to see some sort of mobility item that can completely change the landscape of that end game. Shockwave or Porta Fortress, end game. Someone hold on to it, please, for the sake of me and Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but owning a wall, right? If you can make an edit on a wall, you have advantage. If there's someone on the other side of a wall and you make a peek and you have a window, that means you have first shot opportunity, right? You just very quickly edit this window, and now you can take the shots. With a Porta Fortress, especially when people are this close to each other when one by ones, you're just like, all right, this whole space is now mine. If you're outside this zone, you can't make your way in. Keep in mind, the Porta Fortress is instant. It's an instant build. So it's not like where you build a wall and there's time for it to fill up on its HP. It's done once it goes down. So it's like, if you're, especially in those moments where everyone has low HP, and they're like, we have to get in from the storm. I have 30 HP. You just put a Porta Fortress down.
I love that point. I'm not going to lie, Zeke. This is why you are the man. I never even thought about that as an opportunity for that late game. Keep in mind, a lot of live server games don't get so crazy in the end game like that. But beautiful point. That's why it's a legendary item, unlike its predecessor, the Porta Fort, which is only a rare item. But I'm really interested to see what happens with that Porta Fortress. A couple other things I want to see that we saw a little bit of in game number 1. I loved the gameplay out of Vitality Mika. It was beautiful mid-round play, nice rotations as a duo partner. The fact that we're watching duo play here, it's my first time having a chance to cast highly competitive duo play. I've casted a lot of solo matches in the past. I want to see some great teamwork, a variety of plays, and some bait-and-switch opportunities like we saw from the Vitality duo and a couple other duos. So the Solary squad, of course, playing incredibly well in that end game, getting second place as well. I'm really excited for those mid-game fights, those early game fights that we saw some action of in game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, these are highly competitive players. It's not like these are just pub stomps, right? We're not just sending them out in the live environment. We're putting a lot of the best players in the world together in one lobby. That's why we're seeing things like 64 players left in the lobby. That doesn't happen.
I just played a duo game a couple minutes ago. That didn't happen to me. Of course, much different environment here with the best players in the world competing. That's why you love fall skirmish here, because you get to see the best of the best go at it for quite a bit of money.
Oh, my gosh. And this is just EU. I mean, later on today, we're going to have 6 games for NA.
Yep.
We still have 5 games left to play today. I mean, dude, what more could you ask for? What about the clubs? Guys, don't forget, tweet at us with the hashtag fall skirmish, and definitely rep your club. I mean, remember, don't forget about these submissions. Fallout made his formal submission, so you need to send me your formal submission, okay? I want to let me know why you should be in which club and why. It better be good. We also saw a player, so we talked about it. He got a tattoo. Literally, so we made the announcement of the clubs. We said, you could submit, and literally within an hour, someone went out and got a Fortnite's tattoo. Like, he tattooed.
Unbelievable.
The logo on his arm.
Amazing.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah, talk about the passion of the Fortnite community.
Yeah.
That's unlike anything you've seen a tattoo within an hour. And, of course, that's the first of the likes of what we've seen. We still have, I believe, a week left of submissions. We're going to see some awesome things. So get creative out there. If you're from Europe and you want to compete in the European Fall Skirmish, there's some spots available with your submission. Get creative. Have some fun with it. But ultimately, I hope I become a lucky llama.
There you go. Again, don't forget, he has submitted his formal submission. So if you think he should be part of the Lucky Llamas, let us know with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. That's right. I have to keep saying this, so remember, because
thank you.
I keep wanting to say summer skirmish. It's fall. Fall
we have
skirmish
changed
time.
Seasons.
We have.
Yep.
We
Take
have.
a look outside. Do you see? Actually, we're
so
here in LA. You
here.
don't really see.
Out in Burbank, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, North Carolina though.
Yeah, oh well. Yeah, it's also pretty there too. But I'm not there right now. I'm out in LA. So
there you go.
I'll be back there soon. But dude,
yeah, and talk about the difference in fall skirmish between summer skirmish. You had a chance to cast just about every single week of summer skirmish. What are some of the differences here? Of course, we talked about clubs, but what else are we going to see here in fall skirmish?
The fun thing is, obviously, we've got the different formats lined up for everybody. We saw a lot of formats kind of being used last for the summer skirmish, as you talked about. That was an 8-week circuit. Now we're doing 6 weeks. So we've got a few things in store. Don't forget to check out the blog we have on Fortnite.com. That's got a bunch of the details as far as what the format will be for the week. So we want to let you guys, we're going to be transparent about things, right? We want to let everyone know about the formats well in advance. On top of the trials during the week, I mean, that's something that you at home should definitely be tuning into during the week, as it's like, what's the first one? I don't
Squad
know.
goals.
Squad goals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I immediately, when I said this in my head, my first thought was, ATK racing. This is a thing that we'll see later down the road.
That's how excited you are.
ATK racing.
Oh,
Someone told me about this, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get any work done that week. That's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna watch.
You be playing or watching?
I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna watch my favorite streamers participate in ATK racing.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You got the likes of CDN, Requiem, High Distortion. They've been doing this for quite some time now. I think they used to do a shopping carts first before the racetrack was what it was. That's when it was a little bit of a dirt road. And then, of course, with the addition of Season 5, I believe, maybe even Season 4, it was Season 5, we did see the new and improved racetrack, and we get to see some highly competitive ATK races. I am so excited for that. Squad goals, particularly for me, is what's coming up next week, and I'm really, really stoked for that too. I got to say, my hat goes off to Epic Games for this format and this structure because it's brilliant. It really is. You get high play, competitive Fortnite that we all know and love every single Friday. Nothing changes there. And not only that, but it's improving week over week. But then you get the variety and the addition of entertaining streams throughout the week to keep you entertained all week long from your favorite streamers. We get to see the likes of High Distortion, Nick Merckx, all these guys teamed up with one another and playing in squads during the week to rack up more points to their clubs. And, of course, an ongoing tally of club points throughout the entire 6 weeks. I mean, it's just a brilliant format, and I'm so excited for what that looks like. If you have not yet, as Zeke mentioned, make sure to go to that blog post on the Epic Games website to read all the details because there's a lot there that's really, really exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, and just to touch on it again, it's not just a, X amount of people win the game and take away a prize pool. At the end of the 6 weeks, it's an entire club. So we get to see high-level competitive play, but we also get to see the other content creators come together and have a great time and also walk away with prizes. So everyone wins.
That's amazing.
Even you at home. So please, don't forget to use a hashtag. I mean, this is just so much fun.
Amazing.
I mean, being able to be part of this and hanging out with you, Fallout. Now we're into Game 2. I mean, it's just been so much fun. We hope you guys at home are having a great time. Don't forget to let us know what you think. And Fallout, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, my heart is racing after Game 1. And then we have to go into Game 2. We have 5 more games to watch. This is one of them. I don't know that my heart can take it.
You and I both. And game number 2 here, of course. And as Zeke said, we'd love to hear what you thought about game number 1. I'll be checking Twitter on my end, hashtag fallskirmish, and tweet at us as well so we can see those tweets and read some of them off maybe throughout the broadcast. But here we go. Game number 2. We saw hundreds of Fortnite community members rewarded with cash prizes in Summer Skirmish. We're going to see hundreds more with Fall Skirmish, and I cannot be more excited here. Kicking off game number 2 here on the European Fall Skirmish Week number 1 opener.
Man, oh man, again, we're going back to this overhead view, the eye in the sky. Hopefully a lot of these people thank their battle bus driver.
Please
you need to do that. It's exactly. He works day in and day out, so definitely thank the bus driver. But, I mean, look at this. We see people kind of breaking off. We saw some people landing what looked like toward Dusty Divot, and it's a lot of players are making their way over to the west half of the map. Some have even touched down. Marijuana and Incline here at Lucky landing. It looks like there is only one other team here.
Wow. So, actually, it was Severin that went down early. We saw him make it to the late game last time around. this time won't be so lucky. They're all going to drop in the multi-flat apartments and get taken out as a result here. Marwana does a great job picking up one on Severin to kick things off, I believe, in that one.
Absolutely. And, I mean, even taking a look at the minimap, I mean, Tilted Towers is only being occupied by one duo. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. No one's going tilted.
You know what's interesting is I like seeing the differences between NA and EU. So we see EU, they go more to these opposite hotspots. Yeah, they make other areas hotspots, whereas we see NA. They value things like Tilted Towers, Paradise Palms. EU's different, man. They like to change it up, and they go full send.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited to see what they're going to the performances they're going to put on.
Yeah, well said. And speaking of being excited, I'm excited to be watching this man for the first time.
Tinny.
FlyQuest Tinny. He is someone that joined the FlyQuest roster in August. He was the first edition FlyQuest venture into Fortnite, a competitive Fortnite, a content creator, a competitor on the European side coming from the UK. I'm really stoked to see what Tinny can do under the FlyQuest brand.
I really hope to meet him someday because I've watched him with Summer Skirmish, and he just seems like a chill dude. He's excellent at the game.
Yep.
I mean, what more could you love?
Yeah.
What more could you love?
He's playing with Crabble from the Mouse Esports organization, so a solid duo right here. And look at that. 2 Shockwave grenades are ready for FlyQuest Tinny. Really excited to see what he can do.
Back over to Micah. We saw him last game. I mean, he racked up eliminations like crazy. And as you can see here, he's trying to make his way over to Duncan. He's got 1 elimination. Already under his belt. So I'm assuming he's taken down Duncan's teammate.
Oh, missed shot. Opportunity there from Duncan. He's going to get tagged up pretty weak here. Micah going to take out Duncan, who, in my opinion there, Zeke, had the advantage in the fight. Goes to show how strong of a player Micah is in that scenario. Still able to come out on top with the support of Roby. That duo continues to perform here in the early game. They love this drop over towards Risky Reels, and I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this Vitality duo.
That's right, and they're basically the only ones occupying this Risky Reels area right now. There's teams around close by in Wailing Woods. We've got the likes of Tomato Temple, even Lazy Lynx. We'll have to see how this develops further. I mean, take a look at the map there.
Can you believe, and there you go, you get to see what you mentioned earlier. Only 2 people, 1 duo, get the entirety of loot in Tilted Towers. That is unbelievable.
That's very dangerous
right there.
It's actually dangerous. That's too much loot. Someone needs to get in there and try and shut them down because they're going to walk away with everything.
It's gonna be massive. So I'm excited to see. That'll be a developing story here. Is what that Tilted Tower duo can do in that area of the map. Meanwhile, you see other areas of the map here. It can be Roby and Micah picking up some resources as early as possible here before they're gearing up for a rotation over towards Tomato Temple. But keep in mind, they're in the circle, a favorable circle initially for them. I think we're going to see the Vitality duo go the distance here.
That's right. I mean, even taking a look at the map, you've got people as far as Flush, Factory, even Junk Junction. Wow. So there's a lot of players on the very edges of the map that have to start making these early rotations. We've got a minute before the storm starts to move in. So they've got time, but like you talked about, man, they have to start making these early rotations, and they have to start saying, you know, what do we value more, a little more loot, or do we want to find a spot where we can hold up?
Yep. Yeah, and right now, actually, given this current situation, we're looking at our mini-map here, it's going to be some time until we see some fights ensue. A lot of folks are just looting up by themselves, not a lot of action right now, which is nice. We get a chance to breathe after that crazy game number 1. Of course, as I say that, though, member of Ghost Gaming in a big fight over towards Dusty Divot. Looks like it's going to be City Driver that does have high ground. He's editing low now, but a big fight's about to ensue.
He's fighting the likes of Carnifex and Ukes. Ukes, I mean, this guy is a Summer Skirmish all-star. We saw him all Summer Skirmish long. You'll love to see him. He always rocks the same skin with the wings. And now he's trying to take him down. Oh, but in a 2v1 situation, Ghost Isa drops super low. He almost managed to down Isa in the process. Man, oh man. And again, this is not too far away from the Vitality team we saw. I mean, things are heating up here.
Yep, that's for sure. Moving our way over to ONF Evil. He has high ground right now. So he's going to take a nice chunk of fall damage there. So slight misplay, but it's actually airwalks. Again, the Solary roster is just playing very passive right now. He knows he has two members near him, but I don't know if Evil and Co. know that he's there.
So how do you think the dynamic of like a duo changes up the game, right? Like, obviously, if it's solos, it's every man for himself. But what opportunities and even disadvantages do you have in duos?
Yeah, in my opinion, the more the merrier in terms of opportunities. I love the dynamic it adds to the game. It really gets to showcase and highlight players like Poach, who are great communicators, great rotators, Vivid as well, very similar in that, the Team Liquid squad. And I think it brings out the best in a lot of players. It also adds a different element to the game where you have bait and switch opportunities. There's a variety of teamwork that's added. So I love the addition of duos here in fall skirmish. And look at this, nothing but stink bombs for Airwalks. He's damaged up quite significantly.
Grenades. He's already looked like he's dropped a little bit, just a quarter of his health, which isn't too bad, all things considered. But now he's in a situation. He's in a 1v2. And look at this, a really great stink bomb there. But now he's in the face of High Styled, and High Styled says, "Not today, Airwalks. I'm going to shut you down, my friend."
Yeah, and I like how he played that. I think it was the member of Solary there that I was expecting him to drop, but he actually had a nice clean edit that allowed him to get a nice surprising elimination there. So well played right there. And it looks like now a big fight going down. It's going to be the Vic in a fight against Markod in this one.
I mean, again, we've seen both of these players compete during Summer Skirmish Series, and now they are facing off. And look, someone else joins the fray. Someone else was trying to vulture these eliminations. It's Gabby TV. Now, look, Vic's trying to close in. He's trying to secure this to make sure he can get the points for it. There you go. Him and his teammate. There you go. So they now have an additional. He has 3 eliminations under his belt. If his teammate has even just one, they've got a point on the board. This is crazy. And again, don't forget with this spectator client, taking a look at the top right of the minimap, we give you more information. So now you can take a look at all the little triangles. Those are other teams. So not only can you say, all right, well, they've made a lot of noise, but you can actually look up the top right and say, hey, look, these other triangles, they're closing in. They've heard it. They want some of the action too. Yep,
and I love it. Being a spectator of Fortnite is almost like being a player. You got to be as aware of your UI and your environment as you are when you're playing the game, which is awesome. A very engaging spectator experience thanks to this beautiful online spectator mode that we've seen Epic debut and improve upon every single week. So awesome stuff there. Meanwhile, bottom left of your screen, you saw Micah of Vitality will continue to tell that story. He picks up another elimination. So the Vitality roster, who's known to pick up some high eliminations, continues to roll here.
High Styled and Evil very close to Skype there. We just saw High Styled take down Airwalks. So now, I mean, again, taking a look at the minimap, you can see they're kind of, they may not necessarily know that they're there, right? They're not making enough noise, but they're very close to each other. It takes one person to make a misstep or take a shot, and then very quickly you could start zeroing in on people. So taking a look at this replay, Makey TV goes down.
There it is. Well played right there. Meanwhile, jumping back to the action. And one thing I just noticed, someone had, so a blue pump here, someone had a blue tactical shotgun. And one thing that's interesting about the shotgun meta right now is the variety of playstyles that you're allowed to have as a shotgun user. Some people really prefer that tactical shotgun. I know Nick Merckx loves that tac shotgun. Of course, everyone knows how powerful the double barrel shotgun is right now. But unlike most weapons, which kind of tier up, of course, before the Magnum was removed, sorry, the revolver was removed, it kind of tiered up to a hand cannon and so on and so forth. The shotgun really has two separate, distinct styles of play. The pump tiers up into a heavy, and you have the double barrel and the tactical shotguns, which are really two separate styles of play as well. So you love to see the shotgun meta right now in Fortnite.
Now, do you think the meta has shifted a little since we've moved? We vaulted the drum gun, and then, like you're saying, we introduced the double barrel, and there is on top of that different types of double barrels. We also have seen changes to the SMGs. We saw now they don't have first shot accuracy. We see the reduction in clip size. Do you think that that's shifted the meta a little bit? Do you think we're seeing people come back to the shotgun, or you think there's kind of like there's still diversity? It's like some people still opt to go close range with a shotgun. Some people like to go mid range with the SMGs. What do you think?
Yeah, it's added diversity. I think you're exactly right. Whereas everyone was kind of forced to play the SMG spam meta previously, especially with the drum gun in existence, now you get to choose. If you want to use the shotgun, it's in a much better spot. Of course, the double barrel very, very strong in that conversation, but it does add variety, and it does add a nice little mixture to the bunch. I think, oh, look at this. Nice port of Fortress.
That's a Fortress, baby.
It is.
And as you saw, he immediately has to disengage because now they own this entire space. They're able to hop up with those tires. And now Mick Rose here on the back foot.
Look how damn damaged. He does have some bandages. Finally, he can take out those bandages and use them. Wise decision here. And a nice, speaking of a fortress within a fortress here. Looks like the old Renaissance days as he's castled up here on top of the fortress and sitting upon his steed is in a pretty good position right now. Meanwhile, the Fnatic duo, Fnatic, of course, very reputable organization over on the European side of esports with a lot of history. These two at Nyx and Jurl have a big responsibility.
They have oh my gosh, so they have the shockwave grenades, and look, you're always trying to disengage right now. Man, but they punish him for that. They punish him for that. Man, here's the thing, the storm is starting to move. They need to disengage. And now, I mean, the fact that he's dropped them both pretty low means they're gonna, if they're not fast, they're gonna start taking storm damage. I mean, look at him, he's even kiting them back. The shockwave grenade sends him flying, but Jarl gets knocked with the rifle at 61 meters. Unbelievable.
I absolutely love what we just saw out of Mr. Kuroro. I'm not sure if he has an organization, but if you're an org watching right now, I'm liking the gameplay. 1 versus 2, had 3 HP, built high enough to get himself some bandages and back to health, and was able to...
Here's the elimination there on Noisy. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Noisy and Rasmussen. So double elimination there for Senpai. That's huge. And in a pure 1 versus 2, Senpai comes out on top. Again, you love that about Fortnite. I know I keep deferring to it, but you just love to see the ability to outskill someone and lose a fight where you have a numbers disadvantage.
Here's something else. We just watched the grappler, so we saw him, Svenos, use it to get out of the storm, which is good. Something unbelievable is that Svenos has the thermal AR. We've seen Svenos is, I mean, he's just pinpoint accurate.
Legend.
If you give him this weapon, he's going to put it to work, and he's going to take down eliminations at range. I mean, I'm talking max range. Oh, wow. Jam side falls down and falls to their elimination. I was going to say their death, but I guess they didn't die just yet. Yeah. But look, Unique and Clyde, Marana just on the other side. The Vic is very close by. I mean, look, again, this Spectre client is huge for information. You can just constantly tell where players are, which is good.
And now what's interesting is no one got the knock or the down there. He knocked himself. So no one was really truly aware that he was down. That's why you have to be very, very attentive to the bottom left of your screen. If you see that that person got downed, you know someone's down somewhere on the map. Maybe you can hear it as well. You can take advantage and capitalize. But if you're not paying attention, you can miss an easy double elimination opportunity as the revive was being picked up right there on Cold Turkey.
Yeah, and take a look. So Svenos is here with his duo partner. There's 3 duos here total. Taboo is one that's very close by. He's down. You can see him crawling there. That is teammate is Blackso over there. Now Svenos again has a grappler. We're going to have to see how he utilizes this because, I mean, he can very quickly traverse terrain if he needs to.
Yep. I love his loadout, too. Double barrel into an SMG, and, of course, that thermal for long range. He can use that SMG for a slight mid-range as well. It's kind of well-balanced at a distance right now.
I just want to see a grappler into a point-blank double barrel. That's what I want to see.
A little boogie bomb action here. Svenos is dancing and having some fun, but it's not going to matter. He's going to pick up the elimination. Ooh. Nice job by Svenos. Despite throwing in some dance moves, able to come out on top in that one. Our first boogie bomb action here. I feel like we should have like an alarm that goes off or something.
Anytime there's a boogie bomb?
Anytime there's a boogie, or maybe we have to dance. I don't know. We're gonna get creative here.
We'll get creative.
Yeah.
But look, man, they have no healing. So Svenos and his duo partner have to make their way into the safe zone while currently being shot at, which is tough. Look at this, the grappler, man. I love this mobility tool so much. Look at this. You just cover so much ground so quickly.
And he's using that not too sparingly. You know, he's not in danger of the storm. He only has 2 left. I would like to see him use those a little more wisely in that situation. But going to build himself a nice 1x1. Look how quick he builds that 1x. As now, he's going to be just trying to heal up in this scenario. Only attached by 1 floor right now, though. So.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. He was fine in the 1x there. I guess because he was against the tree, he maybe opted to move over.
Yep.
But like you're saying, he's only held up by 1 little floor there. So if someone's smart, they can take that down, and he's going to come crumbling down to the floor.
Yeah, one thing we've seen is the brilliant when you're drop falling, build walls and then build floors or ramps.
Yes.
I'd like to see that out of Svenos right now to fortify that 1x1 a little bit, and then he can actually get underneath, turtle up a little bit, and edit his way up back to the top. But I'm not sure if he realizes really it's only one small piece of steel that's connecting him. Meanwhile, looks like the Vitality and Millennium duo playing together here in this one. So 2 orgs coming together under 1. You'd like to see it.
Kingwin was very close by as well. I mean, take a look at this map, man. We still have 40 people left in the game. And as you can see, all these triangles are starting to move together. What's interesting is they're populating kind of the lower left half of Wailing Woods. So that northern right half is still pretty vacant. We've got one team that's going to start moving, and you can see the top right there. I mean, this is still pretty open. Now, how do you feel about fighting in Wailing Woods specifically?
Yeah, I love the fact that the Wailing Woods finish. I think we're going to see a few things. One, of course, your building is heavily affected. Your ability to build and your ability to have vision. 2, with the addition of the grappler, much like we saw in PAX West, we saw an Omega who looked like Catwoman flying around or Catman flying around and hanging around in the trees. We're going to see a lot of cat in the tree action in this one, as so expect some people with that grappler to be able to get high ground. But of course, Wailing Woods finish makes it really, really interesting, tough to build, and not as much vision as you're used to having here. So it's going to be a really fun and interesting finish here.
Yep, Svenos, man, he's got like what? It looked like 10 HP or something. He needs to be very careful as he's sitting here editing walls. If someone cracks back, I mean, he could go down. You know what's interesting though? Which I think it's funny they're not doing. So if you have below 30 HP, you can actually knock yourself if you fall from
to get to 30.
to basically get revived and have 30 HP instead of like the 10 that he has now. So I mean, it's more dangerous to do.
Yeah.
Because if you mess it up, it's all downhill.
Yep.
But it's a little cheeky thing you can do.
I love it. I love it. Dropping some insight, dropping some knowledge. I absolutely love it. And again, you asked earlier, what's the difference between duos and solos? That's another big one, the ability to do some cheeky things like that, to utilize your teammate in certain scenarios. Of course, revives coming to play as well. One thing I'm looking at, I want to keep a close eye on here as we're storytelling here to finish this one off. FlyQuest Tinney, the same man we saw drop Dusty Divot early on. Of course, a very reputable name in the European Fortnite competitive scene, coming from the UK. Really excited to see what him and his mouse counterpart can do in the late game.
36 players with CSSK eliminates Dementos there.
Dementos is out.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the format is Victory Round is worth 3 points, second and third is worth 2, fourth and fifth is worth 1 point, and then you can see the elimination breakdown there. So don't forget, people are looking to get eliminations, or they're looking to survive toward the very end, making it to top 5 for those points. And you got to think, man, everyone's probably they're just taking their time. They're waiting for other people to move. They've got 15 seconds here before the storm starts to take over this area, and then again they have to funnel their way into Wailing Woods.
Exactly. And one thing that's interesting here is a very late rotation from Tinney and Crabble here.
Yeah.
Finally, they're going to start hitting it, but look how far and how much of a distance they have to run. Maybe they're just waiting for everyone else to rotate. They do notice the jump pad, and guess what? A jump pad and anti-gravity is fun times. Flying across the sky is Crabble right now as he's feeling good about the scenario he's in. Just got to be careful not to get tagged up.
You know what's good, too, is everyone else is so focused about finding and securing their spot in the zone that they're coming in completely undetected. They're coming in at the pace they want. They can take a look at the land and kind of see where they want to fortify.
And where they want to land as well. A lot of communication that's come into effect there. They had so many options, and you saw Crabble kind of toying with his options. He was like, should we drop on this Porta Fortress and have some fun? They opt instead for a nice passive scenario. They want to get themselves a nice plot of land, and it's almost like we're playing a land grab game here as everyone's trying to get their spot and then fortify up. I like this late game.
Man, look at this. So again, oh wow, we're just seeing fire from all angles. I mean, this is not the spot you want to be in. You want to be the guy that's not being fired at by like 6 different teams.
Yep.
I mean, Endel himself, look, he's only got 40 HP, looking to disengage the fights. I mean, so what would you recommend for players looking to low the game, right? Let's say I'm a new guy and I want to learn how to play Fortnite. And I find myself in these, like, say, top 40 situations. What do you recommend new players do to try and, like, hold out, right? You get cracked at and suddenly like, what do I do? What would you recommend they do in those situations?
Yeah, really, it comes down to an approach thing. I think you need to play it 150%. It's so easy in a public match it's a public match, I'm just going to fly at them. No, play it like a tournament scenario. Play it real time. Feel the pressure, feel the intensity, and play for the win every single time. Play 150% like you're competing yourself for a $10 million Fortnite fall skirmish pool. If you play like a pro, you'll end up getting to that point. It definitely helps you get there. Practice like a pro to try and be a pro, in my opinion. That's why you see the likes of Ninja and a lot of these players that really say every single game I'm learning from, every single game I'm part of myself. You have to take that approach. I think it's more of an approach thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I couldn't have said it better either. I mean, that's exactly the way you want to play it. And I mean, obviously, as people are watching, if you're new to Fortnite, just watch how these players behave, right? They sit there and they reset walls so that they're continuing to reconstruct. You can kind of see through them, the way that they're building, how they edit. These are all things that you should take into account when you're learning to play Fortnite. It's a deep game, man. Yep. It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's deep. That's the most beautiful way to put it. I think you put it wonderfully. Deep, so many layers, so much depth to this game, so many play styles. There's so many different ways to play. Don't just look at your favorite player and say, I want to play like him. Adopt your own style of play. That's what's so beautiful about this. Look, I think there's a double revive going on. They're both going to opt for the passive play in this one. 31 alive still, so keep in mind 2 eliminations right now for the OSERV team as they are looking to get themselves a point at least, but you still have to survive at least 10 more eliminations to get top 10. You see the format on the right side. Of course, when you see 20 players left, that means there's likely, you can assume 10 teams left, and you're in that top 10, and you're getting closer and closer to yourself that 1 point for 4th through 6th place.
That's right. Now the storm is starting to move. Everyone is trying to funnel their way into this new safe zone. I mean, we see it all the time. If people start to tunnel and they start to make their way, but we need to remember that resources are a key factor here.
Yep. Exactly. Especially being Willing Woods kind of gives you a nice little bundle of resources if you want.
That's a good point. You just constantly have trees that give you a ton of wood there, and
you can build out and hit the trees and the leaves up top.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some fights going down. You see the wild card team. Of course, Bowman also on that wild card squad. Not sure if he's still alive. And Alpha doing a good job picking up 1. He's going to build up here and fortify up. I'm liking the situation right now. Look at the mats. You see about 800 to 900 mats total for wild card Alpha. He has full HP and full shield just about. A double barrel shotgun his name and a compact SMG. If you're a fan of this wild card team, you're feeling pretty good right now as Alpha's in a good spot.
Man, look at this. He's got the 3 shockwave grenades. He's got 1 rift on the go. He's got the minis if he needs them. I love that he's opting to take the super close range options, right? He knows it's Wailing Woods. We're going to be pushed together here shortly, so I'm going to have a double barrel and I'm going to have an SMG. I'm just going to run at you, and one of us is going to be eliminated here.
That's a great point. The close range component of that, you can just use a shockwave to basically close the gap. And talk about the importance of carrying mobility now, especially with this new meta and a lot of the new items that were added. It adds an element of mobility in your inventory. You have to play for mobility, and you have to carry mobility, which we didn't really see. As much before, so I absolutely love where we're at right now with the Fortnite game meta.
Absolutely. Now we see players 21 left alive. The storm is going to start moving here, and now everyone's just scrambling. Everyone's doing the best they can to get to this new safe zone, taking shots left and right. I believe that's Mitra here just in front of Kazon, and now he's trying to get the high ground. Trying to do everything they can to get these micro advantages fall out.
Yeah, and his teammate, keep in mind, does have a rocket launcher to his name. That's huge in the end game. You can disrupt so much cover, especially if it's a gold rocket launcher. And I like the loadout here as well for Chaos on fire, or Kaz on fire, sorry, as he does have a heavy shotgun and a compact SMG. Of course, that blue assault rifle as well to his name. Double elimination picked up for the OSERV team. They are looking great right now as well. So the wild card and OSERV squads looking duos looking pretty solid.
And look where the new safe zone is. Not only is it just back where they came from, but now it's on top of a mountain. We see this literally time and time again. The mountain always wins when you need to move against it. Every time. What's cool is Wildcard have this rift on the go. So they can leave whenever they want. But don't forget, the rift, when it opens, it takes more than the space of 1x1. So someone's even close by, even a little bit. If Wildcard Popsy moves one grid space closer and that rift goes off, he's going with them.
There you go.
Okay, so
like just the two of them.
Just the two of them.
That could have been dangerous. Now he's going to get high ground as well. That's huge from Alpha. Another rift.
Take
Can
it.
They take it?
Why would you take
They're
it?
going to do it. They're going to take it as well. So that's going to give them even more high ground here as they're just going to nice and slow. Let everyone else eliminate each other as you're just sitting with your umbrella watching the action go down. Look at all this building. What a brilliant view right now from Alpha. It's almost like 4th of July as he gets to see the fireworks go down below him. And now he wants some fireworks of his own. Going to push in, takes out one. His Alpha with the double barrel, and that's one elimination for him.
That is Popsy going down. We're down to 9 players. I mean, that was beautiful. We saw them utilize the rift to go. They get high ground. They dive down on a player who then uses a rift, and they're like, cool, we'll just do this again. Thanks for giving us a little advantage here. And they come out on top because of it.
And I love it. Just like that. 6 players left in this game. Look how quick things devolved there, as now it is going to be the Wildcard Alpha in a great position with Big Dominate up top to just stay alive, play for the lead here, fortify up as much as possible, which they're doing exactly that. And they're in a good spot here. Let's see what their heals are like, though, because we might see ourselves another heal off. This would have been Cowboys' favorite games to play in. Of course, Cowboy on the North American side loves those heal offs.
Oh, Kaz on fire, eliminated the storm. Again, we talked about it, man. If you try to face a mountain always wins. And a huge SSK drops him down. If he can find more rockets, did this player have more rockets? They did not. Wait, I think there was out in the storm.
He has a
No,
GL, and
no way.
The shockwave's going to come in. It's not going to break through the cover. It's not enough. He's in a world of hurt now. 10 HP. Needs to be careful. So now we have a 1 versus 1 versus 1. One person's low ground, one mid ground, and one high ground. And the grenade launchers are going to be ripped here. Not going to matter. Not going to connect as those pyramids are going to deflect.
I mean, look, he also has 5 eliminations. Fallout. This is huge. He has 10 HP left. What do you do in this situation?
He loses the heal off. He needs to fight, needs to play for aggression here. You have no heals, and that's it. It's going to be Alpha that takes out the Olin from up top. Well played by Alpha, and look at him. A med kit and a campfire. Alpha has this all but wrapped up here, unless this last member can pull off a miracle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how heal off works, the only way you can activate a med kit is if you have less than 100 HP. You saw him wait for the storm to tick once, and then he started the heal. And now it's just textbook. Wildcard Alpha, just wait. Look, he even started the emote. He's like, hey, look, all right, I'm going to start the dance off because I already know. I'm confident in my decision. That's crazy. So we've seen 2 heal offs back to back. That almost never happens.
Unbelievable. And some style points for Wildcard Alpha as he starts dancing as well. And not only that, but talk about starting the dance as the slow-mo comes in, and he's literally doing like a PowerPoint pose.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Alpha, 10 for 10, style points, med kit, and of course his gameplay was pretty good as well.
Man, that was a crazy game too. That was, I mean... So what I thought was the ultimate tipping point there was SSK used the shockwave grenade, and when he went up, he didn't break the top. Crazy. That would have been...
I didn't know that. I thought no matter what, as long as you're in the motion of having shockwaves, so you learn something new every time you watch Fortnite apparently, but I thought as long as you're in the motion after initiating a shockwave grenade, you break through any cover. But you actually lose momentum. And once you lose momentum, look at that. Who would have thought physics applied here in Fortnite?
Real game.
Real game physics.
Fortnite's a real game.
Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. Didn't have enough momentum to break that cover and ended up costing him.
Man, down to 10 HP. Let's take a look at some of the replays coming in from game number 2. The EU scene. I mean, so I would say of the 2 games we watched, Micah is probably like my top 3 favorites. What do you think?
Yeah, even though he hasn't made it to late game, I agree. I think I've seen some great things out of Micah. I really love what I saw out of Alpha right there. We called out his inventory, and the fact that he opted for such a mobility-heavy inventory is awesome to see, and it really defines and tells the tale of how this metagame has evolved. I'm liking what I'm seeing of a lot of people, but Alpha is definitely up there for me.
We still have 4 more games. This is so much fun. I mean, getting to cast games with you, getting to watch this incredible action. EU shows up every time, man. They take no prisoners. And I mean, remember this was that the double dive play we saw. They activated their first rift to go. They dive on a player, and look at that wildcard Alpha. After everything is said and done, he starts the heal off.
I love it. And I want to see when he starts dancing here. That's when he starts dancing. Look at that. We're going to deem that the Alpha pose. Everybody do the Alpha pose here.
Shoutouts to Alpha.
Shoutouts to Alpha. Style, like I said, style points. Creating his own dance moves, using the slow-mo. I love it. I absolutely love it. Great gameplay.
With that, he walks away with 3 points for the Victory Royale on top of any elimination thresholds he's met. So I have to keep you guys up to date as far as the scoreboard goes. But, man, what do you think after the first 2 games of the day? What are your thoughts?
Great gameplay across the board. We're seeing top-tier gameplay. You're right. Europe does not disappoint. A big shout-out to all Europeans watching right now, and, of course, the European Fortnite community for supporting an amazing major way. What great gameplay this has been. It's been a treat to see so far.
Absolutely. I mean, what do you guys at home think? How are you enjoying all the action? Hit us with the hashtag #FallSkirmish. What do you think of Europe? I mean, these guys are insane. Send us your favorite moments. Talk about things you're enjoying about the format. Talk about this guy, how amazing he is. Don't forget to
Stop talking about yourself like that.
Look, I'm talking about you, Fallout. You and I both know Fallout's amazing. So hit him on Twitter. Say at Fallout.
2 T's.
Yes, 2 T's.
Appreciate that, though,
say at Fallout, I love you. ... at Zygamas Prime sent me. That's all you got to do. So I want to see a lot of those. If I'm not seeing those, I'm disappointed in you. But I still love you. But I'm disappointed.
Please do me a favor and throw in a hashtag Zeke for president. Oh, my. Well. We got to show some love to this guy. I mean, we absolutely have to. But,
oh, man.
That's awesome. We talk about social, the importance of letting us know your thoughts. That hashtag's amazing, so we can keep in the conversation. We won't necessarily see a lot of that stuff, so make sure to tweet at us as well so we can see some of your comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. Yeah. Maybe send us a nice picture of you doing the alpha pose.
Dude, the alpha pose, that's a new thing. So if you're watching on Twitch, you got to – no, cut back to this other camera, yeah. So if you're on Twitch, you need to clip this moment right here. And then hashtag alpha pose at Zygamas Prime at Fallout. That's what I want to see.
The first time we got in that, just about 5 minutes ago, I totally thought like it was going to be almost like a stare off, and the first person to break I was the first one to break the pose. But if I didn't break the pose, I think you would have stuck with it for at least 7 minutes.
I would have got at
least 10 minutes.
I'm dedicated.
Would you guys have enjoyed that 7 minutes of it? No, I'm just kidding. A big shout out to Alpha for defining and creating the alpha pose here today. What amazing game 1 and game number 2. And guess what? We have 4 more matches ahead of us in Europe.
4 more, but now a little bit of disappointing news is we got to go through a break.
Oh,
I know, but it's okay. It means that we can all together collectively get up, get a little bit of stretch in.
Restore our hearts a little bit.
That's right. I can take it. I need a breather. I need to go get something to drink. Take time. Go get yourself something to drink. Get a little snack. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
Alpha pose.
The alpha. We're back.
And having way too much fun here.
Yeah, we're having way too much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and welcome back to the Fall Skirmish. I'm Zeke. This is Fallout. If you were here before the break, thank you for sending Fallout all that love. Continue to do that. That was actually hilarious. And we saw, you just showed me that someone tweeted at us the pose. If you missed that, well, you missed out. We did a power pose because someone just power posed in the last game for the win. That was impressive. Don't forget to continue to send all of your thoughts, what you think about the format, everything our way with that hashtag. Please, we seriously love having a conversation with you, love having to hear what you have to say. That almost came out. That was weird. I almost said that wrong. But welcome back. We're back, man. Fall Skirmish. If you're just tuning in, we are here with the EU scene. I'm Zeke again. We're joined by Fallout. This guy is a legend. Again, if you're just tuning in and you don't know who Fallout is, you're living your life wrong. I need you to go on Twitter. Okay, are you listening? Go on Twitter. You search Fallout with 2 T's and you follow him. He's amazing. Are you watching? Are you doing it? Pull out your phone. I'm watching. Yes, pull out your phone. Thank you.
That's way too. You make me feel like a bajillion, quadrillion dollars.
Dude, because you are, and I want everyone else to know that you are.
That's very nice of you, but right back at you. Also, I need to stand corrected. I said hashtag, hit me with hashtag Zeke for president. We're in Europe, so we're going to assimilate hashtag Zeke for PM, Zeke for prime minister here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be more attentive to our culture and our audience. A big shout out to Europe. I'm actually from Greece myself, so hashtag Europe, hashtag European Fortnite, hashtag
Here we are. Well, let's talk about, I guess, the participants that are joining. If you guys have not been in the know with the release of the Fall Skirmish, we're having so much fun. With the Fall Skirmish, we've introduced clubs. We have 5 clubs that are each packed with 100 participants. And as you can see, these are some of the participants that are joining us today for week 1. This is a duo format. So basically, you want to root for your favorite team, whoever you think is the best one.
Yep. You see at the bottom right there, I think we got some Dusty Dogs, early fans here. Big dominating Alpha Amons, a.k.a. Wildcard Alpha, with a great performance here in game number 2. Some great names. We saw Svenis, we saw the likes of Tinny, and a lot of great European players, Severin, and folks who have competed incredibly well. Apostle, your favorite bow tie man himself.
He's dapper. He's a dapper and beautiful man. I mean, seriously, you talked about it. There's just so many unbelievably talented players here. The first 2 games we've had of the day have been insane. We have 4 more games total to cast. I mean, I'm just looking to see everything we've already watched. Just do it again. Just keep doing all the cool things.
More of the same, please.
Yeah.
Don't stop, because I'm absolutely loving every single bit of it. And, of course, you guys got to let us know ASAP, please, in the Twitch chat. And, of course, on Twitter, at SKIRMISH Prime, to follow this guy here. Who is your favorite club? Who you're rooting for? Make your allegiances, make your loyalties. I will give the audience by the end of game number 4, because I want to let them know who's playing, who's competing. By the end of game 4, I want you to pick and determine which club you'll be representing for the rest of the entirety of Fall Skirmish. Are you a Dusty Dog? Are you a Lucky Llama? I'm hoping to be a Lucky Llama myself, but we'll see what happens.
He made a formal submission here during the first 2 games, so if you missed that, you need to find that somewhere on Twitch.
Someone clip it.
Someone
so I
clip
can make
it.
that into my video submission.
Clip it.
Please.
It was really good.
I really appreciate that.
I'll be keeping that in mind when I'm looking to add players to the Lucky Llamas.
Wow, my man Zeke.
But don't forget, so talking about the clubs very quickly, I mean, so this is something we talked about. It's new for the Fall Skirmish. We got 100 players, 50 from NA, 50 from EU. And at the end of the 6 weeks that is the Fall Skirmish, the team with the most points is actually going to get a prize. So not only are people competing during the competitive Fridays, they're looking to earn themselves a little bit of the prize pool. Yep. They're also going to get additional points for their club. And if people aren't participating during the Friday competitive scene, there's the trials during the week. You want to talk to me about that?
Yeah, would absolutely love to. So awesome. We saw Summer Skirmish every single Friday and Saturday. Amazing gameplay. But guess what? This time around, we have not only competitive gameplay every single Friday, but we have time trials, ATK races, we have squad goals, all sorts of additional fun formats throughout the week. So your Fortnite entertainment runs all week long, not just on Fridays. Absolutely amazing stuff. And not only do you get to pick a club to have an allegiance to, you can be a part of it. You could also apply and create a submission to be a part of your favorite club. So a lot on the line here, but let's talk about the format here today.
That's right. So don't forget, every week we change up the format. We're bringing back some of the formats from the Summer Skirmish. One of them is Hold the Throne. So we're going to play 6 matches. Victory Isles are worth 3 points. Second and third place are worth 2. And fourth and fifth place are worth 1 point. Talking about those eliminations, Fallout.
Oh my goodness, I love it. 8+ eliminations get you 3 points, 6 to 7, 2 points, and 4 and 5, 1 point. So it's really 4, 6, 8. Think of it at that threshold to get plus 1 point. And of course, the Hold the Throne bonus, 2 points for most elims in any match. So we are excited to get you guys standings here in just a little bit to let you know who's been holding the throne, what the eliminations and placement points totals are at. But of course, let's talk about the stakes here, Zeke. So much at line, $67,000 for first.
Man, and on top of that, again, taking a look at the club points. So not only are we seeing people getting to show up, compete for this prize pool, but they're earning themselves club points in the process. So if not only if they get those points for, let's say they get, a team places first, right? And they walk away with this, and they get those club points. Those club points could be enough to have them win at the very end of the whole thing and win additional points. So don't forget, if you don't know, at the end, whatever club has the most points wins, and it's the entire club that's going to receive an additional prize outside of just people competing for the top 10 placements. So basically, everyone wins.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Not only a prize, $4 million, up to $4 million awarded to the winning clubs, as announced in the details. If you have not checked out the details yet, go to the blog post on epicgames.com for all the information for Fall Skirmish. It's been awesome to see so far.
Yeah, we also be updating the thread there, so you'll be able to see the upcoming format as well as the weekly trial. So definitely stay tuned, lock it in, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. We actually even talked about it kind of before the break. Since PAX, okay, so during the week of PAX West, the finals, the Shockwave Grenade was disabled.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have that in game. On top of that week the Grappler came out. This week, we saw the likes of the Porta Fortress come out. We've also seen the Silence AR added to the game. Loot Lake, the Cube, a.k.a. Kevin, that was dubbed by the community, has sank into Loot Lake and has now made the lake bouncy. On top of that, we've also vaulted the drum gun. So all these things together have changed the meta dramatically, I would say, and have really changed up how people are opting to run loadouts, deciding where to land. Do you want to talk about that?
I love that you set that up perfectly, and we've seen it come to play already. The addition of all these items, really, to summarize it, we're adding an addition of mobility. So the ability to move from point A to point B really, really quickly has been added here. Porta Fortresses, grappler guns, so many different items that get you there. And we saw it happen in game number 2 already. We saw the Shockwave and the Rift double mobility loadout from Alpha. And guess what? He got to be the one that posed for the number 1 victory round finish at the end of it.
Unbelievable. Now we are hopping into game number 3. I hope these people are, look at that, there's a lot of thanking the bus driver. Thank you guys for thanking the bus driver. This guy works tirelessly to just get you to where you need to go. So make sure to thank him when you can.
Yeah, good people, good Samaritans out there, of course, on the European side. What else can we expect? Some of the nicest people out there.
Oh, yeah.
As we have a chance to watch them in here. We go. You see the map on the left side of your screen, a nice even dispersion of players throughout the entirety of the island, and the action's about to break down. Game number 3 here. So once we're done with this, we'll be halfway done already, which blows my mind. I'm having way too much fun here, Zeke. It's been a pleasure to be casting this so far.
Dude, the honor is mine here, getting to hang out with the likes of Fallout. He's incredible. Again, if you don't follow him, you need to do it. He's incredible. But look at this, man. We already see players opting to make decisions where they're going to land. We see Junk Junction. We see a duo is actually split. They're so confident. They're like, hey, I'm going to take over Junk Junction. You hit up Haunted Hills. Viking Village as well. Tilted Towers is only occupied actually by 2 duos there. I mean, there's so many. There's still people en route to locations. Yeah. So
I can't believe it. Look at this. The bus actually started on the west side of the island, and typically in public live matches you see everyone drop early because they're impatient, they want to get to the action. Look at the exact opposite here. If you look at the overhead map, it'll show you everyone is on the right side. We'll get that pulled up as soon as we can, but only one team Shifty Shafts, only one team Greasy Grove, one team Viking Mountain, one team Junk Junction Haunted Hills, one team Pleasant Park, and one team Tilted Towers. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new spectator mode client that we're debuting here for the Fall Skirmish. So we'll get to see pretty much everyone's perspective. On top of that, we also want to give you guys as much information as possible. So whenever you're looking at the top right in that mini-map, you'll be able to see additional players. So there you can see there's an additional diamond up there. So that team doesn't know there's someone else there, but we know there. So again, it's just an effort to be transparent, to keep you guys up to date, give you as much information. But look at this. Shots already being fired. Kupek takes a huge hit there. And look at that. Aragonis cracks back and says, no. Oh, wait a minute.
Is that a double elim?
Unbelievable. Aragonis got the elimination on both players, but he lost his teammate in the crossfire.
All right, so Aragonis now with a whole load on his shoulders. He's going to have to carry his teammate, who's going to be sitting there watching, to victory. Let's see what he can do now in this one. We'll keep a close eye on him as he develops. Meanwhile, the O-Serve team that we saw place, I believe, top 10 last game, game number 2, still alive here. No shields to their name just yet, but they're going to be advancing towards Dusty Divot, where there's, of course, the likes of Tim and Crabble would love to go there.
Yeah, for sure. We see, ooh, Dav takes down Carrero there. And, I mean, look at this. You just see players just going to town here. This is, I believe, what is this, Pleasant Park?
It's
Retail Row. I don't know what I'm saying.
Big fight at Retail Row. Gambit, Pate 1K.
Vermax
taken out there. It was Vermax, who was, I think actually we saw him fly with a shockwave grenade all the way over to that fight, is going to come out on top. So awarded for aggression. You like to see it there from Vermax.
Absolutely.
And look at this. Speaking of mobility, as a grappler gun at his disposal. Some remote explosives picked up as well.
You love to see it, man. I take the grappler over it. I always make a spot.
You'll drop shields for it?
Okay. I won't drop shields for it.
I'll always make a spot. Quote it. Hashtag Zeke. I will always make a spot unless it's shields.
Unless it's shields. Look, I'll drop just about anything else except shields. Like, if I have like one mini, I'll drop the one mini.
What about a gray pistol?
No. I need the gray pistol at all times. I need the gray pistol. No, I'll drop a gray pistol for it. Anything except shields.
Anything except shields. There you go. Good important clarification. Right after saying, I will drop anything
Now going forward, everyone's going to be like, wow, Zeke would drop shields for a grappler. He's so bad at the game.
No.
Listen, okay? I like the grappler.
I don't blame you, though. I think a lot of people would agree with you. The mobility is so crucial. Not only that, but I love the fact that it's so much less likely to get caught in the storm. Which means you're more likely to see better engagements. It's never fun as a fan, as a spectator, as a player, you know, to get stuck in the storm. That's obviously your fault if you kind of let yourself get put in that situation. But the grappler, the rift to go, so many of these different items give you a chance to really stay in the game here, and it's really awesome to see.
I mean, we
and
saw
8-Ks?
8-Ks. We don't see people typically take 8-Ks, but what we did see is the last game, someone had a grappler in the final few circles, and they use it to change position and change their elevation. So, I mean,
awesome
the
stuff.
grappler is crazy versatile. Crazy versatile.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I mentioned it earlier, Micah and the Vitality Squad, or duo, is a team that you've loved to see so far. And they're going to drop Risky again, 3 games in a row, and they're going to come out on top this time.
Penny is here in Dusty Divot. We see the new item, the Porta Fortress Down. This thing is a monster. I mean, it just takes up so much space. It gives you cover. It's got bounce pads if you want to disengage or, go full send. Wow. Penny goes down, though.
Look at this. It's G-Master on a 1 versus 2, takes out Tinny, takes Crabble to low HP, all by himself, fighting an army in this power squad between Crabble and Tinny. Can he come out on top in the 1 versus 1, though? I'm loving what I'm seeing. Those peak shots were brilliant. If you're an aspiring Fortnite player at home, take some notes here as G-Master is putting on a show.
Look at this. He cracks back, though. He's super low. And no way. Wow. Crabble takes down G-Master. That means him and Tinny are back in the action. You'll love to see it, man. That was crazy.
Amazing plays from Crabble. He didn't even have high ground. On low ground, was able to come out on top with the elimination. That goes to show how skillful of a player Crabble is. And Tinny and Crabble live to see another day. All thanks to the 1v1 from Crabble. Well done. But you got to give your hat off to G-Master there. Look at this. Speaking of grappler.
You love to see it. Changing elevations, trying to get the drop on this player. He puts down shots. He's laying down the heavy.
This ain't no drum gun anymore, Mickey TV. Is the LMG, of course, is a little bit more spray and close range. He's going to get taken out there because of it. Wow, what an interesting turn of events there.
Now Sops has to take time and heal himself. Look at this. Apostle finds himself that down, and now he's engaged here with Mickey TV. Can he lock it down? Or this is Mexi, I'm sorry. Trying to get the high ground. Oh, Apostle. He goes down. It's just Mexi's going to secure the 11. Oh, no way. His teammate was there.
Swoops in from nowhere. It's Train H Sops with the save. Wow. I mean, that was a millisecond of Mexi picking up the elimination. If he would have waited just a millisecond to shoot that tactical shotgun to get the elim, I think he would have gotten it. But the 1 to 2 seconds of invulnerability saves his life. What a play right there from Sops.
That
swooping
was
it out of nowhere.
Unbelievable.
The only thing that would have made that better is if he had a grappling gun and flew his way.
Oh, yeah.
180 flick of the wrist saved his teammate. But regardless, it was still pretty beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that Fnatic. They disengaged there with a Rift. And now it's just Carnifex here. Look at this. So now they're skybound. They're just making their way over Tilted Towers. So Tilted is currently where the safe zone is, which is good. We saw only one duo team land at Tilted. Now, Fnatic, they don't know this. They probably now know this now that their shot's coming out. But I feel like I would have almost opted to go Tilted. I feel like.
Interesting stuff.
Because then you're playing Gatekeeper, right? It's like everyone outside, if they're trying to make their way, like, oh yeah, Tilted's fine, everyone's gone. Well, no, Fnatic is there.
Yeah. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate just because that Tilted drop is right on the outskirts of the next circle. We talk about early rotations and the importance of early rotations. And again, this really to each their own. Everyone has their own opinion on this. I'm a firm believer in early rotations. Get center circle and avoid the madness that is the edge of the circle there. So I think that was a right decision in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have played it.
For sure. And that's the beauty of Fortnite, man. There's really no wrong answer.
No right or wrong way. Yeah.
It's only the wrong answer until when you get eliminated. Then it was the wrong answer.
Well said. Now, it's going to be Epsilon Sandel. Good shots picked up with his teammate. Of course, the Epsilon duo. It's going to be King and Sandel pick up 2 on the Solary team.
They use the Rift to go to disengage this fight. Now, keep in mind, the Rift is still there for 10 seconds. So this team could follow up.
And they did. I believe they grabbed it.
One is Skybound, yep.
Yep. Interesting scenario there. Meanwhile, in Dusty Divot, we see Madsen rotating with his teammate. No, and they actually take that back. Look at the top right. Your screen. I love this spectator mode. And one thing as a spectator and viewer of Fortnite, you got to be committed. Look at the different UI or your user interface on your screen and the different clues because you get to see now a parallel opportunity for FlyQuest Tinny over there if he wants to engage.
And Svenos here, currently going down. He's trying to get the high ground, but gets cracked.
Oh, no.
And now it's Le and Uran. They're trying to close in on Svenos. They know he is hurt, and they're doing everything they can to just try and down him. But Kinzel's
is playing some amazing support fire. And this is the beauty of duos right there. Svenos is in a world of hurt in a solos game. He would have been completely taken out. But because Kinzel's able to support with some great shots of his own, I think they both get away with. They're both alive here. But no, they're actually on different teams. So the addition of Kinzel third-partying that, nope. They are on the same team. I take it back. I apologize. I thought they had different arrow colors at the top right of the screen. But exactly, that's the beauty of duos right there. So well played by Kinzel, keeping his teammate alive.
Unbelievable. And now here we go over to another fight. It looks like there's 3 teams here. Aragonist has gone down, Vatu up top.
Oh,
and this is Mitro, who it looks like has swapped up his skin. He normally runs the Luchadores.
Yeah, so not having a reload right there, and his his assault rifle reloaded actually ended up costing him at least the shields of that opponent, but it's okay. He's just going to back on reset in this scenario.
Look at this, his teammate. Remember, he was the one that left with the rift on the go.
You're right.
So he's just now making his way back to Mitro. Like, hey, what's up? What have you been doing things? It's fine. I'm here.
The other member of Wildcard, one of our favorite esports organizations. Big shout to them for sending over a few members of the Wildcard team over to PAX West in Seattle for the summer skirmish. He's competing today. It's going to be Povsy of the Wildcard team.
Ooh, we saw that they're trying to send grenades over. But Mitro's prepared. He just backs off and says, look, I'm not trying to mess with that. I'm just going to build this wall, this ramp. Let's just slow down.
Is that slurp juice? Sand to the right?
That was. He dropped a med kit and I believe the slurp juice.
Interesting stuff there. So now here comes the push. Looks like they're on the hunt. They want these eliminations. Keep in mind, they only have 0 right now for Povsy. Not sure how many Mitro has, but that 4 number is the threshold. They're going to try and get that. Raining grenades right now. That's a scary sight to see. What would you do if you're getting grenades rained on you in real life?
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I take out my blueprint. And
I built some walls.
Oh, wait, this is real life. No, wait. Yeah, so I take out the blueprint. Man, that's not in the spot you want to be, especially if you're down low and someone's just hailing grenades. Look at that. Tixi goes down. These are the power of these grenades.
Beautiful.
And you know what's really telling of their skill is grenades have a bounce. They have an initial bounce when they touch an object.
Yep.
So being able to ricochet them correctly. I mean, Tixi was at full health, and that perfect bounce means he goes down, and now that team is in a 1v2 situation. So Very masterfully placed grenade there.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this build battle. We saw the use of a pyramid. Actually, I believe that was Mitro that placed his own pyramid, and it ended up kind of getting him trapped in that scenario. Of course, Liquid 72 Hours was the one that really redefined that meta of pyramid placement as a defensive or offensive item and counter, and now we see almost every player doing it. So really cool to see the addition of that maybe about 5-6 months ago. And but right in there, that situation, Mitro placed his own pyramid that ended up kind of costing him. Not the cleanest edit either to get out of there.
Oh, they tried. Oh, there was 3 boogie bombs.
Was that just, are they just trying to have fun?
I believe they were trying to catch them off with the boogie bombs, hoping they would buy a little bit of time, but
not knowing the distance, that radius that it could travel, maybe. Because it did explode midair.
Yeah, it does have kind of like a total fall off, but look at this. Still 50 players
Amazing.
left.
I love it. So much fun.
Look at the map. Fallout, look at this. So they've taken over Salty Springs, right? You've got 2 duos down by Fatal. You got 1 in the blue kind of making their way up. Down in the very center of the circle, you got those 2 blue teams right there.
Top mountain.
I mean, there's still so many people coming in. And look, there's 2 triangles moving very rapidly in right here. You got to assume they've probably rifted because they are moving.
And then the gray on the far left by Shifty Shafts, you have to assume they have a rift to go or something to be able to close that gap because they're playing for a defensive situation now.
Yeah, they're far.
Yeah, they are very far.
So the way the circle closes, the closer you are to the actual circle, like the slower the storm around you closes. So if you're far from it, it's going to like overtake you quicker. But if you're very close to the circle, you actually have a little more time than you'd anticipate. So some of these guys are okay, but man, you're right. Those guys at Shifty Shafts, they need to start making these early rotations like you talked about.
Yeah, they are on the far side. So exactly what you said. There's slow side and there's far side. It's based on proximity to that next circle. That's what makes the difference between the slow side and the far side. So if you ever notice that as a Fortnite player, sometimes the storm closes a little faster than others. That's why. You got my man Zeke here breaking down the logics and the insights. I appreciate it. Awesome stuff here. Nothing but the best here from Zeke, guys. Every single week of Summer Skirmish, he casted, and it was brilliant delivery. Really awesome to have him on board. A big shout out to this man. Show him some love on Twitter. Zeke for PM.
No, you're 2 guys. Stop. Don't get him doing that.
At Zeke Prime. Zeke for PM.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You deserve it, my friend. Things are slowing down here so we can have some fun. But action's about to break down here momentarily in 25 seconds. That storm will be collapsing, and it will be a smaller circle. Keep in mind, I think only we said 50 people. This is a lot smaller of a game than we saw 64 when that final circle was there in game number 1. Yeah. So like you said, people may be a little bit nervous in game 1. You're seeing them warm up a little bit and get a little more confident in game number 3.
That's right, man. And don't forget, with the current format, I mean, players are looking to earn points as quickly as possible. Victory hours are worth 3 points. Second and third are worth 2, and fourth and fifth are worth 1. And I mean, especially with these elimination thresholds, I mean, don't forget, if the duo combined can earn 4 eliminations, they get a point. So every single elimination matters. Even the difference in 1 point, we even saw this at PAX, 1 point is enough to just move you and skyrocket you through the standings. So everyone doing the best they can. Now it's like, you're right, they're all warmed up, they're halfway through, they're like, hey, let's start playing for these points.
Exactly. Look at this fight here. It's kind of an interesting one. We got low ground versus mid ground.
It's Wildcard Alpha.
Our friend Alpha. And Big Dominate, very weak. He's going to use the Impulse Grenade for mobility. He's going to be able to get some cover above himself as well. But his teammate that is in Clyde is going to be pushed up for aggression. He's going to get knocked a little over-aggressive here for Clyde. Meanwhile, Mirwana in a 1 versus 2 situation. Not the best place to be in, but this is when our All-Stars rise. Can he do it? Mirwana in a 1 versus 2. Alpha takes out his teammate in Clyde, so it's official now. Mirwana left to carry his duo in this one. Is he going to drop? Yes, he is. He wants the fight here, and he's not going to get it. Good defensive building from Alpha Amons. Meanwhile, Big Dominate, who's very, very weak right now, all it takes is 1 shot from Mirwana to pick up the elimination.
Oh, he managed to...
Beautiful.
Alpha cuts him off there.
Look at this, the walls, the defensive walls to keep... in the storm. It's going to cause him to get tagged up as well.
This is just ridiculous. Mirwana now trying to maintain his high ground. He's in the storm. He's committed to this elimination.
Wow. He does have some bandages here, so he's comfortable. That's a smart play. Oh, no, he's getting flanked. That was Alpha. Alpha is teeter-tattering with the storm here just to get some shots into Mirwana. Look at this. 1 versus 1. They're both low HP. And it's going to be Mirwana getting eliminated by the storm there. Yep. What an interesting fight and breakdown that was. Alpha playing with confidence, and it's going to cost him his life as well.
He was also lost to the storm there. Our power posing man from our last game, the victory round, he gets no points.
So in the end, the only thing that was gained or lost there was my loss of breath, as nothing really gathered in that scenario. No points for either team, like you said, Zeke. Wow.
And look at this. We saw Tinny go down early on in the game. Don't you remember him and his teammate? His teammate saves him, and now they're back in the game. Tinny has 2 eliminations to his name, and look, Pavzi is down below. But keep in mind, Tinny doesn't have much in the way of ammo, even weapons.
Here's some grenades. One's going to go down. That's Pavzi. Tinny's going to be rotating low side because he gets a little bit fearful of those grenades, which can knock down his structure in an instant. Actually, no, Pavzi's still up. Pavzi's teammate that is down right below Tinny.
Oh, he's up top. You see him?
Oh, he is. Yeah, you're right. So it actually might be Crabble who's down.
Yeah, Crabble's down below. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching, if they have the same number below their name, they're on the same team. So Pavzi and his teammate have a 2. They're on the same team. Tinny and his teammate have 43. They're on the same team. For clarity.
Yep, it's beautiful clarity. I think well-needed clarity as well. Thank you for breaking that down. Meanwhile, Mitro, number 2, and see if his teammate is still alive. Not sure if he is. It's going to be Crabble.
Oh, look, Tinny is taking shots right now. He just needs to jump down. Look, Tinny's doing everything he can. He's like, look, Crabble, you helped us get this far. I need to try and pick you up. I need you.
Yep, and not only that, he got Tinny up a couple, maybe 10-15 minutes ago over Dusty Divot. So returning the favor here. You like to see it. Nice little teamwork opportunity. Now they're both back up with low shield, or low HP, rather, and I would have liked to see Pavzi and co take a little bit more aggression in that fight. Instead, they let them get the revive.
Yeah, but now they opt to bounce into the circle, taking shots, and now Ads is here as well, Edge of the Storm. I mean, look at this, 31 seconds till the Storm overtakes this area.
And Crabble and Tinny were both eliminated, by the way, at the bottom left of your screen there. So now we got the Vitality, French organization here, working their way over. Big shout out to the French Fortnite community, a massive community, a passionate community as well. Of course, the Vitality organization is a big part of that.
Man, still 36 players left. Follow. We're now entering Salty Springs. This is where they... Oh, okay. So M11 takes him down.
And you know, I don't want to say I told you so by any means, but the early rotation helps out and benefits there. The people stuck on the edges trying to move into that rotation late are just going to get lasered by the folks that are center circle already. So it goes to show the importance of early rotations, which means get to center circle of the next circle before anyone else. Build yourself a nice 1x1. You're sitting in a good spot. Ninja loves to do that. A lot of these top players love to do that as well.
And then you can do what's called gatekeeping, where you just basically wait for someone to come in as they're backed to the storm, and you just put them off guard. You put them in a tough spot, and I mean, as you can see, those, like you're talking about, those early rotations, man, they put you in a really good spot. But now SSK trying to make a play here. He's outside near the storm edge. Now Jamside finds elimination, which is good. His duo partner.
Yeah, playing with the border of fire right there. Not going to take any damage, though, so well played. Good job knowing his surroundings right there. Meanwhile, Jamside is mid-ground. Going to drop low ground, going to turtle up. So when you hear a lot of pro players use that term, turtling, basically like a turtle shell, a turtle in his shell, you're going to get low ground. You're basically getting a nice turtle shell of a 1x1 box on the low ground. Typically it refers to turtling on low ground. It can be anywhere, of course, as Jamside is just going to post up and wait for everyone else to fight each other.
And as you saw, I believe their duo combined has 6 eliminations. That puts him at that 2-point threshold. That's huge.
Big.
That's going to give him a ton of points. Now they're on the board. I mean, especially if other people are trying to do their best to earn eliminations and can't. I mean, you know, sub points are better than no points. Fact.
Life. Some points are better than no points. I like
there you
that.
go.
Yeah, and I think that applies to most situations.
Life.
Golf. You don't want points in golf.
That's fair. That's fair. That's the one place it doesn't apply.
Yeah, exactly. On board still with 7, SSK 7. Of course, teammate of Jamside. Meanwhile, the Vic sees a fight going on. He kind of wants some action here. Will he go for it? No, he's going to let his teammate spray instead. Some good damage done right there. And look how intense this is. And a stink bomb goes to show the importance of holding on to those stink bombs for late game. Because that's going to get some great damage. That's going to get eliminated down at least. Mitro takes out one. Madsen takes out Mika, and just like that, it is going to be the Vitality Squad, I believe, taken out.
And Ukes eliminates Mitro, a Titan. Unbelievable. I mean, this is where things get very hectic very quickly.
Look at this.
Madsen, going skybound there. And again, man, we talked about it. So here's the thing: EU plays a little differently. They don't play high ground as often as like NA does. NA is always high ground. EU is very close to the ground. They're very methodical. They build. You talked about it, tunneling. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. In late game, you see a lot of elevation. Oh my! How beautiful is that?
Oh yes!
For the fortress, baby.
Porta Fortress.
Quite the opposite of tunneling.
That is just, this is now my kingdom.
Yeah, this is now my kingdom. Nice shot by the Vic, picking up one. But you see in these late games, a lot of tunnels created, or catacombs, as Dr. Lupo likes to kind of call them in his commentary, where people will create these little boxes for themselves, these little catacombs, which creates almost, again, tunnels, which gives them an opportunity, low ground, mid ground, or high ground, to be able to kind of work around, get as much of a land grab opportunity as you can, especially in these late game circles that are very, very small.
With only 23 players left. I mean, look. So now we see where the new safe circle is.
Ukes goes for a medkit and 14 bandages. He's expecting a heal off. He's playing for late game. Wow, interesting decision. I don't know if I would have done the same thing. I like to play a little more aggressive and go for elims. But again, different styles of play, different faces, different races there. I like what I'm seeing.
Demento's maintaining this high ground. But now we're going to start to see the storm move. Now we need to, so we have 10 seconds here before we're in a brand new spawn. We'll get a new safe zone. Yeah, but I mean, look at this. Everyone is literally scrambling, trying to get themselves safe.
I called it out earlier, but Dementos in a great position to win this game. They're just going to build themselves as much of a high ground and a perimeter as possible. A little risky right now, actually, but as much as possible. He has 2 med kits. He has full shields, full HP.
Oh my gosh. The Vic has another Porta Fortress. We talked about this last game.
Here we go.
Okay, let's really quick break this down. In Fortnite, when you place a structure, you have edit rights, right? So if I place a wall, I can edit it to be whatever I want. That means you as the enemy cannot. Now here's the thing. Everyone that is the Vic's enemy can place anything. If he drops that Porta Fortress, that means he owns the entire area. He can edit that entire area. And keep in mind that it's an instant build. Those are instant metal walls going up in a massive space. This is going to be a game changer.
Absolute game changer. Yeah, I'm excited to see if that breaks down. I'm going to let you take that away because you've been nailing that point. It's a beautiful point because, of course, it gives you immediate edit rights to every single piece of cover in that area. Dementos, though, I called it out. About 25 people left. Now 17 left. Still in a great position to win this game as he has 14 bandages and 2 med kits.
M1 also has one.
Oh, my gosh. 2 Porta Fortresses here. Be the Vic that picks out elimination with the shotgun. That's a heavy gold heavy shotgun for him, and now he's just giving himself as much of a perimeter as possible, and he set himself up for a nice Porta Fortress use here. Oh no,
he's literally at the very edge of the storm wall. All right, I think it's go time. I think one of these players needs to use a Porta Fortress. It's time. Lay your kingdom down.
And was it the Vic, and who else has one?
I honestly, it's been so. I can't remember. There's been so much action.
2 members have a Porta Fortress right now. It's 2 separate Porta Fortresses that can be used. And he has it out.
He has it out.
Will he do it? I think he waits for the next circle. The next circle is a guaranteed.
You know what he could do?
Dimension.
So he can use it one of 2 ways. He can use it offensively to set himself a space to move into, or he can do this, and he literally is stopping players. They literally have to break through his metal walls before they cannot edit. Yep.
And it's built to 100%.
They have completion. Look at this. So now a bunch of players are caught in this thing. They have to break the walls. There's fire left and right. 9 players left. Look. Okay, so it was Solary. They have the second one.
It was.
And look, they can edit. That's what I'm talking about. You have the space, you have the walls, you make the edit, and you find eliminations.
Beautiful. They could not have made you look like more of a genius right there, because that's exactly what happened. What a great breakdown of action right now. Meanwhile, it is Dementos that still has high ground. His teammate Kinzel, I believe, was taken out in that engagement. But Dementos, again, someone has high ground over him. That's Sackner. He's going to... Oh, that's his teammate. I apologize. I got so excited. I got to look at these numbers better. I talk about being an observative viewer. I got to do it better myself. My apologies there. But nice job by Dementos holding high ground. 2 med kits. They're in a great position.
Oh, he tried... That's another thing, man. You can't forget the Porta Fortress also has a larger area. Dementos, though, drops down, takes a hit from the spike trap. And look at this. It's just players raining down, loot raining from the heavens. It's a 1v3. Sackener up top.
And he's not going to be in a good position here. He's outside of the storm. He knows it. He's medding up. Dementos, I think
he's trying to go for it. He's trying to go. He's up top. Can he find him? He's behind you.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the action here. He's going to take out one. A 1-versus-1 for the win here. He's going to get taken out for a second place finish. Oh, my goodness. What an end right there. We need at least 5 minutes to break down what we just saw. That was brilliant Fortnite gameplay.
There was so much that just happened in that tiny moment of time.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll get some replays going in just a moment, but let's talk about. There was a lot of things that happened. So first off, the massive game changer was the 2 Porta Fortresses, right? The first one goes down and keeps people from moving the way they want to move, right? They have to sit there and break down those metal structures. The second one was the second Porta Fortress.
Yep.
Solar guys put it down. Everyone's like, I'm going to move. I'm safe. And then he goes, I'm going to edit this wall. There's elimination. I'm going to put a spike trap here. I'm going to edit this. You fall through. Dementos, you get taken down. Here's my teammate. Yeah, Porta Fortresses. Wow.
Game changer. A lot of people were questioning how this would change the meta, how this would affect competitive Fortnite. I think those questions have been answered here in game number 3. I mean, the ability to use those 2 Porta Fortresses late game really do change absolutely everything. One big piece I want to break down was the very end game. We saw Dementos drop low side. I think that's a slight misplay on his end. Of course, he played phenomenal all game long. But you have 2 med kits, you have 14 bandages, and you have complete high ground. I like what they're going for. There was a smart idea leveraging the duo. So they said, hey, you stay high ground. I'm going to drop low side as the one member of Secret and go for some eliminations and try and make a hero play. You play for the win. Smart decision, actually. We used to do that very often back when I used to compete in Gears back in the day. It's a smart decision to make, but ultimately it did cost them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree. You know, if he had stayed high up top, he could have just gone to a heal off. They didn't really have much in the way of heals. Now, granted, they did have the shock wave grenade, so you saw they immediately changed elevations. They were able to get an advantage on this player. But, I mean, you're right, man. If Dementos had just literally stayed just across the way, he would have probably been fine. They could have taken it to a heal off. He had 2 med kits.
Yeah, and talk about the other item that was a game changer there. Not only the Porta Fortress, but the shockwave we saw, which ended up getting them the win, by the way. Unbelievable. There was too much to break down just in our discussion. We got to jump into some replays because that was just ridiculous.
So many highlights here in game number 3 of the EU scene. I mean, EU, I'm just always impressed. I just feel like they are incredible at adapting. And they make Fortnite their own. They make these decisions that like it happens and I'm just like, "Oh my god, what? Like how did you do that?" You know? I mean, and the thing is, everyone is like that.
Exactly.
Everyone is like that.
It's a very smart play. They're so intelligent, the Europeans. Not that their North American counterparts aren't, because they definitely are. But North America, we see a lot of hero plays. We see like the Ghost Gaming crew that's just so talented individually on the North American side. But EU, they just play so smart, so methodical. They play for each other, and it really shows.
Yeah. And I mean, I love with the addition of the duos. I mean, it really does change up the way Fortnite's played, right? You have to make a decision. So it's me and my partner, right? It's me and Follow. We're on a duo team, and I find ammo. Do I say, do I keep the ammo? Hey, Follow, do you need ammo? And you're like, dude, I need ammo. You know, these are things that come into play, especially when your teammate goes down. Then you got to think about it. I like to think about it in numbers. If your teammate goes down, you're now at a 50% deficit.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Right? So it's like 50% of your power is now down. And now you have to make a decision. Do I go get my teammate up? Do I have to put myself in a weird position where I'm trying to save him? And especially with this format, it lends itself to securing elimination. So oftentimes, if someone goes down, they're probably going to be eliminated.
Yeah, I love the way you break that down. And that actually aligns with the same way we saw Courage and Dr. Lupo break things down at PAX West. We talked about resource management, right? Resourcing your materials, resourcing your HP, and really thinking of the game as a resource-based game. That's one more element of that. And I love the way you break that down. Your teammate's life is a resource, 50% less efficient, 50% less active with a teammate down. You got to be smart. You got to value your teammate's life, sometimes more than your own life.
Yeah.
And did you just commit to us being being duos, but is that like a Valentine's Day ask?
Pretty much.
Are we a new duo?
Yeah, no, of course. That
Awesome.
was I
Let's play
just
some
figured.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm down all the time. When we get back, of course. I'll just play on I'm actually playing on my phone right now.
Yeah, sorry guys. While we're casting, it's actually really impressive. We play on our Android and our iPhone.
I'm actually in this game. I'm running around. No, I'm actually that'd be actually really funny. But dude, just so much things, all the new tools. I love seeing the grappler plays. I mean, I honestly want to see more grappler. I feel like people are maybe underutilizing them. That mobility tool, we kind of saw one of the players as the Jonesy skin. He was literally just changing elevation. Like, because the thing is, the grappler literally, as long as you're aiming at something, you can grapple to that and get above it. So if someone's like, I'm going to build and get high ground, you're like, sure, waste mats. One grapple shot for your 40, 50, 60 mats that you've wasted, and I still have high ground.
That's
so
my TSM Daquan voice. My high ground.
High ground.
Easily done. I love it. And you're right, though. People, I want to see the clips. Where are the Twitter clips? Where are the plays? Where are the grappler plays we're used to seeing on YouTube and on Twitter? And then, of course, in Twitch clips. Of course, people playing a little more passive here. They're not going for the hero plays as much, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys at home think? Hit us with the hashtag #fallskirmish. Let us know how you're enjoying all the action. Make your predictions. What's your favorite club? Get us with the hashtag. You can see, there they are. Boom. What's your favorite team? What's your favorite team?
Lucky Llamas for days. Double L's, triple L's.
Double.
Lucky Llamas for days. I'm a big fan. Hope for a chance to represent one day myself.
You know what's also something that's worth talking about is the standings.
Yep.
Let's take a look. So right there at the